All right, there we go. Now I'm back.
3, 2. All right, and we're live here at In Your Head Wrestling Radio. I'm the internet icon, the pride of the pilgrims, the most honest man in all of podcasting, handsome Jackie Jones, off my right-hand man, my audio soulmate, and the enforcer of the Headyverse.
1-inch biceps, the power goat. Yeah.
And joining us, he may be wondering why he's joining us after the introduction, but we have former WWF personality, a very cool guy. You could tell he got the nice Pac-Man shirt, which goes right up Incher's alley.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Very nice.
My son outgrew it, so I get his hand-me-downs.
Well, all right. Well, that works. Your son's getting very popular. He's the famous one now.
Yeah, man. He blows me away, like resume-wise. Yeah, kind of crazy. And I've never hit him, but I'm gonna hit him soon. Just because it's probably the last time he's gonna be able to kick my ass in a couple of weeks. He's filling out, he's big, he works out, and I'm shrinking.
Well, you're a good looking man here, I think. And it's good, it's a good thing to catch you here on video. You're telling everyone that you're going to hit your son. That's always a good thing.
Yeah, come on. Not like none of us got hit.
So before we get into the event, I do want to ask, how did that all come about? How did your son, start getting out there in the world? It's on TV.
I bought him on eBay. He was he had a couple of good credits, and I figured I could work with it. Now, it was just obvious. He was like 3 years old. I had stepped away from acting and writing because I couldn't get a mortgage. So I got a real job, always thinking I could always go back to it. And when he was 3, I was like, oh my God, this kid is going to make way more money than I'll ever make. And that's where I got to devote my time. So I only recently got back into it. He kills it. I mean, the funniest thing is he's had big movie credits. Union. He was in a film that was nominated for Best Picture. He played Kevin James' son on the, that show only lasted 2 years. Kevin Can Wait. But he was one of the stars. He was on Disney for 3 years on their highest rated show. But the big thing, everybody, and he only made, like, I swear to God, he only made $1,000. But he did that Cam Newton commercial for Play 60 back in 2012. I'm excited for next year because I know the NFL is going to do something with him on the 10-year anniversary. But that's, more people have seen that worldwide than anything else he's ever done. And he's done big things.
That's pretty wild that, the commercial gets out, I guess, because why do you think that is? The commercial is so popular.
Well, I think, first of all, the NFL is a huge audience. What does better TV ratings than the NFL? And so it was seen by many. And the commercial is so funny. He so nailed it at age 7. I don't know if anybody, just Google Cam Newton Play 60 and watch it. And anybody that watches football will say, oh, I remember that commercial. It's almost 9 years already. And it was this little kid kind of trash talking in a laid back, what's that word? What's that phrase?
Nonchalant.
When something aggressive.
Passive aggressive
way, but it's hilarious. And Cam's reactions were great. And it debuted Thanksgiving Day on the NFL and it played every game for like the rest of the season. It was even in the Super Bowl that year. They didn't count it as a Super Bowl commercial because it had already aired. And they showed it right before kickoff, which means it's technically not a Super Bowl commercial, but it won awards. He was interviewed by ESPN right after that. it was huge. It was great. And it really opened up doors for him.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. Why do we have you on? We got to get it. No, I'm just kidding. But
he wants $20 and I only have 14.
Fair enough. This Hatchet Mouth here in the chat room, he says, I thought I had imagined the character of Jameson, but here he is. He is real all along.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny, like, and I never realized that. I really never realized when I was doing Jameson, I was there from like 89 to 92. And I came back and my contract ran out in 92. I came back and did like some stuff for Vince. I was in the magazine. I did some personal appearances at like fundraisers and stuff because I got out of my contract early and he paid me to the end. And I said, Vince, what can I, he said, I'll call you. You come in, you do a couple things for me. I said, all right. But I never realized 89 to 92, how popular Jameson's character was. I never got that. And when Primetime ended and everything was shot on the road, I stayed with it. They put me on tours and I stayed with it for a while. But by that time I was an actor, giving up a lot of acting work just to go on the road with WWF. And I wanted to get out. They were going to send me to Japan next after the Royal Rumble. And I was like, not doing it. I'm not a good flyer. I'm not. And Vince was really accommodating to let me out. And then I find out literally 20 years later, maybe 19, that nobody knows who the actor is that played Jameson. And people, they said it was Andy Kindler, who was on Ray Romano, I think. Or it might have been, he played Ray's friend on, and I think he was even on King of Queens as a friend. I don't remember. I think it was Ray Romano, but it wasn't him. And Joe Bruin of the New England Hall of Fame saw me on a poster for a comedy show. I was booking comedy then, and these comedians that were booking, wanted to book this show, found out I was Jameson. They said, could you just come up and say hello to everybody? They were big fans of wrestling. And they said, could we put your picture on the website and to announce? I said, yeah, but I'm not going up as Jameson. I'll do a couple minutes. Yeah, that's all you got to. So I put it on there, and somehow Joe, who knows everybody, but 3 states away, saw the picture and called the bar that I was running. And he kind of, and I started backtracking and seeing all this. I'm not an internet guy, but seeing all this interest on all these wrestling sites. This is 2011, 2012, saying, who is Jameson? Who's it? It's this guy. No, it's not. It's not that. And a lot of people didn't even believe him at first that he found me. And kind of cool. I had no idea that Jameson was anybody. Even to this day, now it's over 30 years. It still amazes me how many, requests I get to go do signings and how many, literally every day there's wrestling fans reaching out to friend me on Facebook because of, stuff I post. But I just posted, and I'm doing these shows now, wrestling themed comedy show, dinner theater type stuff. And I posted about that. And I found this tape that I shot in 1992, right after the Royal Rumble. I didn't want to go on the road anymore. And I wanted to give Vince a demonstration of what I thought was a really funny storyline that didn't have to be shot on the road. It could be shot on location, in a gym, plenty of footage, a lot of valuable stuff. So in a very raw format, me and my buddy on a home movie camera, 1993, two, like Super 8, shot this storyline for Vince, to show Vince to see if he was interested. And basically it was Jameson joining a gym after the Genius roughed him up at the Royal Rumble, joining a gym to go kick his ass, to get revenge. Yeah. And I just released about a week ago or so ago, like the first 4 minutes of this tape. It's really funny. And it's probably funnier than anything I ever did it at WWF. And I posted it and so many people shared it. And I got so much love for the first 4 minutes saying, well, when could we see the rest? Yeah. And literally I broke it into 3 segments. I've only shown the first one so far. And it's the least funny of the 3, but it's still funny.
Yeah. Did you end up sending that to Vince at the time?
I did, but it was just like, it was a horrendous time for them. It was, I mean, like, even before the Royal Rumble, the first signs of a steroid scandal were starting to show. This was the end of 91. And that became a preoccupation for, the Brain Trust there. And then a couple months later, the whole Playboy expose came out in Playboy about sexual harassment. And that's when everybody moved to the WCW. So I don't know if you ever saw it. I know I submitted it to, at the time was, he's big now. He's way bigger than he was back then. But Kevin Dunn was the guy who was running TV, basically, or at least he was in the creative department. He wrote storylines, and it was funny. He would always come up to me and say, Jameson, you got to give me something. I don't know what to, let's just do something. He really relied on me to come up with my own shit. And we shot a lot of funny stuff. But again, I was, I probably should have went to Japan. I probably should have tried to stay there. But I had no idea.
Right. What were their plans for Japan? Like just to go on?
It was Hulk Hogan. You can look it up. I mean, it was a big tour after the Royal Rumble that year. I think that summer or maybe fall. I don't know. I don't remember all that well, but I remember Hulk, who was, it's so funny. Like, a lot of people don't remember me. A lot of people, especially people that weren't born yet, but I had such a really great run in terms of these hard ass wrestlers. I would crack them up. And Hulk Hogan was a fan. I mean, he was like, Jameson, you're coming on the Japan tour. You come with me, buddy. And him and Vince would fight over when we were on the road, after a match, whose car I was going to ride in. Like, I'm going with Vince or I'm going with Hulk. No, he's coming with me. And it was done. And me, I'm trying to sneak back to the hotel. Like, I don't want to go out with these guys. They're going to strip clubs and I love women, but they're going to clear tables and they're going to fight and they're going to, oh my God, technical difficulty. But, and I went to a couple, I couldn't, I got trapped into going. When my shit was done, I so wanted to sneak, even if I had to walk back to the hotel and just hang out, watch Monday Night Football, whatever was on, I didn't want to go out with these guys. I wasn't partying in those days and it was all parties. And I had a couple friends that kind of felt on the road, talent-wise, more friends in the crew, but a couple of big-name talents that I was a pothead. I wasn't a drinker. I didn't do coke. I certainly didn't do steroids. Fucking look at me. And I'm still alive. But, there was a couple of people. I would go back to the room, which was probably more than 50% of the nights I was on the road, before anybody threw me in their van, and just go back, smoke a joint, order room service, watch TV. That was my enjoyment on the road. I mean, I totally never grasped what was going on in terms of Jameson's popularity. I mean, one of the funniest things was when Primetime was still going on towards the very end of Primetime, but Macho Man's Bachelor Party, it was such a great show. I still have it on VHS, but there were so many moments because there was a lot of mingling while the announcers were talking, but there was like stuff going on in the background. The Bushwhackers coming in with a big 6-foot hero with raw fish on it, strippers, all this stuff going on. And there were so many times that they had to stop and cut because everybody was laughing over shit I was doing. And I know that's why they kept me around. They felt like they didn't have a lot of people that, I mean, they could use Gorilla and Mean Gene on broadcasts where they had people that worked with Bobby well, where they had some improv skills and they could feed Bobby. They could feed him laugh lines. But me and Bobby, it was like a battle. Who could crack the other one up first? And especially in the Bobby Heenan show, there was some really funny moments. And that bachelor party was a scream. Shooting it was way funnier than the finished product, but even the finished product is funny.
How did you even get involved in the first place? Were you a wrestling fan?
As a very young kid, I was a wrestling fan, but I'm talking young, pre-age 10. But I was, and I was a financial guy out of college. I was on Wall Street. I was designing pension plans the first 10 years out of high school, but I was just burning out. It was just not a healthy time. Mm-hmm. It was during those days of Wall Street and, all the partying and the hookers and all that stuff. And I was dying. I was literally, I don't want to blame anybody else for getting me involved in that. I was weak and I had my own problem with drugs and all that. And I just decided one day, if I'm going to survive, I have to quit cold turkey. I have to quit my job, quit drugs, quit everything. And I'd always wanted to do stand-up. Always told growing up, oh my God, this kid's going to be a stand-up comic. So I had some money put away because of the industry I was in and went into stand-up, started doing stand-up, got hired to do this theater show. It was like a dinner theater show, which was 50% scripted scenes and 50% improvisation. And that was where I was gold, the improvisation. And they needed a character to come in and play a vaudeville comic. And I had it pretty good. I could translate some of my current comedy into 1920s kind of. So I did. I took the job and I was a bit of a hit. And I didn't want to be an actor. I just wanted to be a comedian. But it led me into the next show, which is where they had cast every role except this character named Jameson. And they said, John, you got to read for this. I said, I can't be that guy. I'm not a nerd. For fuck's sake, look at me. But I had an inner nerd, and Vince McMahon came to one of the first few shows we did. And because the show was so heavy in improv, he reached out. That was a Saturday night that I met him. Monday morning, I was at the headquarters. And they offered me a contract that day, and that's how I got involved. And then all of a sudden, I'm an actor. Like
was he normally there?
No, it was actually his neighbor, another tycoon, but his neighbor in Greenwich had a 30th birthday party for his wife, and they booked the whole theater for the party. And Vince was, you can almost tell his discomfort of being there. He wasn't yet the star he is now. Again, it's although he was getting there. It was 1988 or 9. It was 1989. And I went and I recognized him, and I went up and introduced myself after the show. Jameson crushed that show. He was easily the star of that show. And I just wanted to go say hello because I saw him fucking laughing. He was bright red from laughing. And I introduced myself. He was a little, not standoffish, but just like not wanting to make. He said, great show, really enjoyed it. And that was it. And all my fantasies of going to work as a young actor, I wasn't young, but I was a new actor. Oh my God, wouldn't it be great if I went and did a couple of things for Vince McMahon? But Sunday came, and Sunday night and Monday morning, I wasn't even thinking about it. And sure enough, they called and had me come in. So did I answer the question?
Yeah.
I'm doing a lot of talking,
definitely.
guys.
Well, I was interested about the Jameson character. So was the one that we saw on WWF TV, was it exactly like you played it during the improv?
Yes. It was a murder mystery. And Jameson was it was this very wealthy family. And it wasn't a 1920s show anymore. It was current time. It was, what happened?
Sorry,
there you are.
We got you back.
It was current day. It was, the show starts off, they're at a memorial service, and rich family, mother, the widow, who was, you think, she had something to do with it, and her 2 daughters. And I was the cousin. My parents were dead. I was like an orphan, but my dead uncle for the show brought me in and raised me because he didn't want me in an orphanage. But the family hated me, and I was a pathetic hypochondriac, whining, and that was the character. And Vince, when he told me to come in and meet Bobby that Monday, he was like, just stay in character. Don't break character. We're just going to tell Bobby we think we have his co-host. I just want to see how you guys react. And that's what I did. I stayed in that character, written in that show, that I helped actually write that show, never thinking I could play that character. And it was magic they literally, a couple of people left the room and there was talking going on. And then me and Bobby, I broke character. Me and Bobby were talking. Within that hour, they came back with contracts to sign. And the next thing I know, I'm Bobby Heenan's co-host on the Bobby Heenan Show.
How long was the original contract for?
I want to say 4 months. Mm-hmm. And they had no idea that USA was going to step in and cancel the show. So now they got to pay me. And Vince really didn't want to lose me. That's when they just stuck me in the audience at primetime. And every episode, somebody beat me up and somebody rescued me. And I worked with everybody. I mean, I got to stop touching that wire.
Jeez.
And I did some great stuff. I mean, one episode, Andre rescued me. I worked with, my favorite people to work with were Ted and Sherry. It was so funny. She used to beat the shit out of me on camera, and I would totally, and I think it's a lot of the wrestlers liked working with me because I was in really good shape. I had some boxing background, some real wrestling background, like, high school wrestling. Yeah. And I had done some gymnastics. So I could take a punch, I could fall and not get hurt. And I would always encourage everybody, let's just make it look real. Hit me, throw me, whatever you got to do. And Sherry, I love her. Loved her. I still love her. She would grab me by the hair with her hands, and I would grab her hands, and she would shake me with such force, and I would jump, and it looked great. I mean, Yeah, I know. I keep going off on tangents. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's interesting. And so how much of that was like, obviously, you know who you're going to work with, but are you using your improv skills during a lot of that stuff?
Nobody ever wrote, I swear to God, nobody ever wrote a word for me there. They gave me the situation. I would come up with things. I always had props in my pocket, like, inhalers or like a hot dog. Like a hot dog in my pocket, liver sandwich, just things that I could break out, and blowing my nose into a sock. That was something that I developed. That, and people would say, Jameson, why do you have a sock in your suit pocket? And I would say, well, because they're cheaper than handkerchiefs and they come 2 in a pack. But it was just like, stuff just evolved. And it was great. I had a lot of support. I mean, one of my favorite guys there. And again, I mean, one of my favorite guys, because he really appreciated what I did, was Mr. Perfect. Just thought I was a scream.
He's known as a big ribber, so he probably enjoyed.
He really, and the first time he saw me, like in the dressing room, I was pretty cut back then. I mean, I was definitely a bit on the ripped side, and he did such a double take when he saw me. He's like, Jameson? I said, what the fuck? Like, he was just incredulous. And, from that day on, the times we bumped into each other in the studio, he was just a fan. Oh, I loved what you did last week. The great thing for me was it didn't matter. I was a part of that. I had a bit every Monday night. They put me into something. That show where I got the $1 million belt stuck, and Sherry and Ted beat the shit out of me because they came into the audience with a metal detector, and towards the end of the show, and just funny stuff. The Berserker throwing me off the roof. It's probably most people's favorite thing I ever did. And what was really funny was they continued that storyline. Like the show ended with me on the way to the hospital. The next week they came back and they showed my chair in the audience empty with a bow around it. And then they brought me out on a gurney, and this went on for a couple of weeks.
So when when the 4 months are up, or however many months it was for your first contract, what happens then? Do they like, hey, we want to keep you around?
Not much time went by. I would say maybe 2 months went by, and they offered me another contract, and it might have been right after the holidays. That might have been why they didn't hand me a new contract the day my other one expired. They were coming into the holidays. Definitely, all my work was done in the studio, and I think the studio was shutting down from like Thanksgiving to New Year or something. But as soon as, over that Christmas break, I got another contract, and they just put me in as a plant. And then when they canceled Primetime, which was totally a cost-saving measure, they made me, they set me up to be the manager of the Bushwhackers, who were great. So much fun. Love those guys. Really good sports. I think when they were told about I was going to be their manager, I could only picture that their eyes rolled and they were like, oh boy. But never made me feel that way. They always made me feel like I was a welcome part of the group, and that was it. And we spent a year doing that, leading up to the Royal Rumble, and we were the preliminary match against the Beverly Brothers, and that's kind of how the thing played out. It's like a year with Primetime, a year with Raw, and a year on the road. Although most of that road stuff was like my second year with Raw. So, but it was, it was great. I'm lucky I did it, and really happy that my son actually got to do a gig. He was in a pay-per-view event. Yeah, Extreme Rules, little Johnny. And everybody just assumes that, that's Jameson's son. Everybody thinks I got him the gig. He got that through his agent. They auditioned for that. And it was funny because when we shot it, I probably hadn't seen Vince in like 25 years. And when we got there, Vince came out and he got down on his knees talking to my son about how things were going to go, what he wanted him to do. And he looks up at me, goes, "You must be the dad." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "Vince, you recognize me?" And he goes, "Wow, you look familiar." And I made the Jameson face. I did this. And he was like, "Oh my God." He was hugging me, wanted to bring me around to see all the people that were still there, 24, like Kevin Dunn and George Germanakis. And it was really a nice, very warm reunion. And James, this was fresh off of his Cam Newton commercial. So many wrestlers, the Bella twins couldn't wait to grab him and take a picture with him because the Cam Newton commercial was still red hot then. Yeah. And I remember, I don't remember what's his name. Big guy, great guy. Bald. I think Jewish.
Goldberg?
Not Goldberg.
Bernstein.
No, I'm just kidding.
Braun Strowman, maybe? I don't know if he's.
No, I got to ask my son. Who?
Braun Strowman.
Big. No.
He's a big guy, but
this guy was huge. Cut. I don't know why I said Jewish. I gotta find out before we hang up. I'm gonna find out. And I would love to bring my son out just to say hello. And if anybody wants to talk to him.
Definitely. Yeah.
But yeah. All right, next. Smoking.
Very good. Well, did Vincent ever try to get you to come on and do an appearance yourself as Jameson after that?
No. No, and I kind of never really, after we shot that tape, I just got really involved. I started writing, and I wrote a play that went off Broadway, and I wrote a one act that won a couple of awards. I was so wrapped up. Now, all of a sudden, I was like the accidental actor. And now all of a sudden I wanted to learn the trade, and I got really involved, and I never really approached anybody to try to do something and nobody ever reached out to me.
Yeah. A lot of people are guessing who it is. We got Al thinks it might've been Ryback.
That's the right answer.
Excellent.
And
Al,
he loved
pat on the back.
Him and James hung out. My son hung out the night and you could tell he was like, anybody that back then, so fresh off the Super Bowl, the Royal Rumble, or it might have been before the Super Bowl, but that commercial was running every game from Thanksgiving till the end of the season, playoffs, whatever. It was still big. And when people were finding out he's got the mask, the sheet mask they gave him. He still has it.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
And he had it signed by guys that were there. It's signed by
maybe Bray Wyatt.
Definitely Bray Wyatt. I don't think he got John Cena's, even though that was and John Cena was great with him. John Cena was like, that's the Cam Newton kid. Everybody was that way, but it's Ryback. No. I got to see the mask, but he has it. We're going to sell it. Yeah, he wants to sell it. He's got a drug problem. I don't know.
It runs in the family apparently, but
yeah. No, but yeah. So that was really cool, and he did great. I mean, you watch that and you say, "Wow, that kid's going to be somebody."
Yeah. But I should have mentioned this beginning with, but August 7th at Gio's Restaurant in New York, it's an intimate night with Jameson and friends. This sounds like a very fun time.
It's going to be awesome. I mean, just having Greg there, who was, I'm doing multiple shows, always with different guests. But like, I always want my headliner. For me, I only really want to do it where the headliner is somebody known nationwide and not like a regional guy, nationwide, WWF. And I got a couple of names that are interested in doing it. But it's going to be hilarious because each of the 4 guests are going to go up and do, 15 or 20 minutes each. The guys that really don't have stand-up, I'll just tell great stories. And then, figure an hour and 15 into this thing, we're going to just do a Q&A with the 4. And then, and all while this is going on, I kid you not, a gourmet dinner, 3-course, appetizer, meal, dessert, all inclusive in the price is going to be served. And then we're going to do like a 2.5-hour meet and greet after that. So I can't imagine, like, I'm sure, I know Joe Bruin, when he does his New England weekends, there's components of that, but it's spread across a weekend. I don't know of anybody that's doing this kind of thing.
For like a one-night event.
A one-night event that includes, like, I think about wrestling fans and I see the money they spend. I get asked to do these conventions, these signings all the time. I don't do many of them. I don't think I've done 10, maybe 7 or 8 of them I've done. But I see what wrestling fans spend at these things, and it's like $50 to walk in the door, and then you still got to buy your shit, get your shit signed. It's a lot of money, and this is like, take that same money, we'll feed you. You'll get to take, you get a show, you get a Q&A, and then a meet and greet, which you're going to get at a convention. The only difference is it's a lot less guys, but it's just way more intimate and personal. And
you get to spend time with everybody and stuff. So
right.
It's funny you mentioned Greg. I know Greg, the headliner, Greg the Hammer Valentine. And the last time I was at New England Fan Fest, he was doing a stand-up, well, not really stand-up, but he was doing a comedy show with him and Honky Tonk Man. And I kind of joked with Joe. I was like, that's a weird choice because I don't think of the Hammer as a funny guy. But he was very funny. He's a very dry sense of humor, and he's a great storyteller.
Right. And I know Greg from those days, never got close to him. I don't even think we ever worked on the same show or did a bit or anything like that. But everybody's telling me Greg's got some great stories. And Mario
Mancini, one of our friends here, Mario Mancini.
Okay. Mario's got great stories.
Yeah, he does.
Definitely Greg. A great storyteller. And he said, I have it's one of Greg's favorite stories.
I think his first
I would love to tell that story.
Greg.
Say again?
I think his first match was with Greg Valentine.
Maybe. He's one of the few jobbers. He's one of the few jobbers I remember.
Yeah.
Work, and I saw all of them. I mean, especially when I was touring, but what's the other guy's name? Horowitz.
Yeah,
Barry.
Yeah, Barry Horowitz.
He was great. I remember him. I mean, I always rooted for him knowing he was going to lose, but
some people really guessed Horowitz when you said a big Jewish guy, but I didn't. I assumed it wasn't Barry Horowitz.
Yeah, no. And Ryback might not even be Jewish, but I don't know somehow why I equated that. But that guy in person, huge. I mean, biceps like, bigger than my head.
Mm-hmm. So for Greg, you weren't really around him much in WWF. So did you get to know him a little bit doing the conventions?
No, I don't know that I think we've met, but I haven't done many shows. Mm-hmm. But I don't ever remember being at a show that he did. I mean, I guarantee you I've done at most 7 of these things in the 10 years since Joe discovered me. I mean, I get asked all the time, but it just like with my son's career being in LA so much, and I couldn't commit to these shows because he was working all the time. He went from one job to the next. So I kind of, but now that it's, you know, especially with COVID ending, I've done like 3 shows since COVID started. I mean, almost half my shows just in the last like 16, 18 months.
Mm-hmm. So these comedy shows you do, so you got Greg the Hammer Valentine in this one. Your son's also in this one. So does he tell stories? Or like, how's he involved?
He, believe it or not, this kid has been doing stand-up in comedy clubs in New York City, Long Island, like real comedy clubs, not like Joe's Bar, like Gotham Comedy Club, McGuire's, Governor's, Broadway Comedy Club. All these are named big room shows. He's been doing it since he's 9 years old. So he's got an easy 10 minutes to do. Plus, we kind of like choreographed me introducing him, and then me as John introducing him coming out, and then him introducing Jameson. And we choreographed this fight. That's hilarious, where he kicks my ass. And and then I bring out Mario, and Mario does his thing, and then he brings out Greg. And one of the things I'm most excited about is I'm going to debut this Jameson, the Lost episode, the full version of it that night. The place is set up for, it's got a big screen. It's got the thing in the ceiling, the projector. So that'll be part of the night. And, from 7 to 12, it's a really good value, and everybody's going to do good. I mean, I'm not going to get rich doing these shows, but I'm not looking to. I'm just, keep things alive. It's a new world with COVID, everything breaking down. Although the shit I'm hearing now is with this new strain, we're all going to be wearing masks again. But just thought it was a great time to, maybe enter into this and see what I could do on an entertainment level. It's always been my passion is entertainment. Even wanting to do murder mysteries again. They were so popular from Tony and Tina's Wedding. I don't know if anybody knows what that is, but it was on Broadway, off Broadway, then Broadway. It's like an audience participation improv show. Murder mysteries became all the rage right throughout the 90s. And then they kind of died off. It wasn't a fad anymore. And, most people that were trying to do them, the shows sucked. And, but now for me, it's like, it's a new ball game. COVID's done. People have been sitting in their houses. Let's do a murder mystery. Let's bring it back. It's retro. It's, if you got the right actors and the right writers, it's a scream. Mm-hmm. So going to be looking at doing some of that. These shows, like I'm explaining the comedy show, going to try to do one a month at different venues, even take it on the road. I mean, I've already gotten some bites to bring the show to like the Albany area, and even up. Joe said, yeah, we could book these in Providence. So that's basically what I'm looking to do. And in the meantime, if any acting gigs come up for me or my son, it's easy, where I'm available.
Yeah. Have you stayed healthy during the pandemic?
I think that's a very subjective question. Oh, you mean, did I get sick? No, but I got vaccinated. Yeah. I got vaccinated.
We're all vaccinated.
Yeah, I didn't want to get vaccinated. I did not want to get vaccinated, but I wanted it in my ass, and they put it in my shoulder.
Yeah.
Intra's always saying that to me too, but I don't think he means a vaccination. But I don't know what's going on. But Intra, do you have a question from the chat or Facebook? If not,
Yurish Tosh, he wants to know, without naming names, did you often smoke with other talent, other wrestlers?
Yes. But there were just, I think there were just, that I remember, there were just 2. that were, and they were probably doing other shit too, but I was just doing that. So, but yeah.
He has a follow-up question.
Yeah,
he wants to know those two people's names now.
Oh, that's going to cost. I'm going to give you a clue. Yeah, I don't want to. I can't do that. I can't. I don't know. You know, for me, I don't give a shit. I mean,
yeah.
My father's dead, so I don't care who's listening. No. Yeah, two names though. Two names. One's dead and one's not.
Oh, okay.
And it has nothing to do with weed. For anybody that doesn't like weed, that other one is not dead because of weed.
Right. I don't think really anyone's dead because of weed.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah.
Unless they caught fire. Maybe.
Joe wants
just
to know,
didn't have the strength to put themselves out, you know.
Right. They're just laying back, taking it easy. At least
Right.
they died happy.
Look at this. I'm on fire.
Joe wants to know, do you have any memories of the Rosati sisters?
Really good ones. They were sweethearts. They were so grateful to be involved. They were sweethearts. And we had some good moments. There's an episode, I think it's the Bobby Heenan show. And it might be the one with the porn star. And, you know, the show ends, there's music and the guests, and I would always get up and dance. And like, there's this hot, I don't know if it was the stripper or the porn star episode, but the Rosatis in their bathing suits come out and they're dancing, and I'm dancing with them, and very like, you can tell Jameson is turned on, but like there's this hot girl dancing over there, and Jameson is dancing with the Rosatis, like, and just in seventh heaven.
You said, like, you know, your stuff was improv. How about in general, like the Bobby Heenan show? Was that improv? Like,
I swear to God, there was never anything. In fact, I would say stuff, and then they'd go to commercial, come out and say, "Yeah, don't say that." Like, I was like one time, and it might have been the first episode. Bobby's like trying to be intimidating and threatening me, and I'm like cowering from it. And I'm yelling for Vince, and you know, to save me from Bobby. And as soon as they went to commercial, they came out and said, "Yeah, don't mention Vince as the owner or anything." It was, I don't know why. Like, you know,
it wasn't until later that, you know, it was. Besides, like, inside wrestling fans, it wasn't like known, I think, until
right. But it's like, you know, there's so much of wrestling that's scripted that, you know, I couldn't imagine a serious wrestling fan not knowing that Vince owned the company. I mean, it was all over MTV. It was all over, like, even if you weren't like watching 60 Minutes, you knew just by virtue of that, like, you know, Current Affair, all these like kind of schlocky news things. And so, yeah, boy, I got a lot to say, huh? And I'm not angry.
Well, that's very good too. Yeah. And it's the worst is a guest who has nothing to say. Those are not the fun time. But
right.
Steven wants to know, do you have of course you have many memories, but do you have one particular favorite memory of Bobby Heenan?
Well, I think my favorite one is Macho Man's bachelor party, where we had this stripper. And if I tell you, if you guys could find that episode, run it. The stripper that they hired, she came out of the cake. A knockout. You know, absolutely one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen close up. And the Bushwhackers had made their entrance with the 6-foot hero with like raw fish on. I mean, and they were not like minnows or freaking, what do you call them, sardines or anything. They were like,
I remember, you know, they were sardines, but they were like pretty big.
They were big. They were big. They were bigger than your fist, bigger than your hand, stretched out. And one of them fell out of the sandwich, was laying on the stage. And we're going to commercial after the stripper gets done. And Bobby and Vince, or maybe Bobby and Gene, I don't remember, were talking as she's leaving. And she's walking out and everybody's like cheering. And, you know, they get close-ups of all these wrestlers, their eyes bugging out of their head. And I bent over, I picked up the fish and I go, lady, you forgot your fish. This is a stripper. And Bobby he was talking when I did that and lost it. And they couldn't air that because, you know, Bobby, if he knew it was coming, would have reacted like, what an asshole. But he was just the timing of it, I guess. And it was pretty funny. You know, you think of a stripper and somehow fish comes into your mind. But it was that might be my favorite time. And I used to crack him up all the time on the Bobby Heenan show. Those moments where I could break him because he was the best. I mean, there were so many times they would be cutting promos or even prime time with the shows where whoever he was talking to, the wrestler would break or where they had to reshoot things and all that. And I was pretty good. You know, Bobby's hilarious. We had a lot of laughs where I could laugh out loud when the camera wasn't rolling. But when the camera was rolling, I broke him and it was great. People would always say to me, boy, Bobby can't keep a straight face with you sometimes, which is always nice to hear.
Yeah, definitely. I think you have another question from from anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yuri Tosh from the chat room. He wants to know, did you ever have a comedy show where you bombed and how did you handle it?
You know, my comedy career was very short because it was only 87. It was less than a year long before Vince grabbed me. And I couldn't do stand-up anymore because I was working almost every weekend. Just to be, you couldn't, I was working during the week. And the way comedy works, I don't know if it works that way anymore. I know it doesn't with my son because he's kind of could get a date in any of these clubs once a month. But if you were a comic trying to get on the circuit, you'd pretty much have to go do a Tuesday on the Jersey Shore to get a weekend that paid $500. You'd have to go do like a Jersey Shore gig for $40. And I wasn't big enough to just do weekends. So I kind of let it go because I was making good money, way more than I would have as a stand-up with Vince. But I would say there was one night at the Jersey Shore where I actually got booed off stage, and it was devastating. And then the next comic comes out, he got booed off stage. And then the third comic comes out and he got booed off stage. And we found out after the show that half of the crowd, this was in a bar called Joe Pop's in Long Beach Island on the Jersey Shore. And we come to find out that half of the room was a bachelor party. And there was a wet t-shirt contest coming on after the comics. So they couldn't wait. But even having said that, and I think it's the only night I really bombed, it was still driving home an hour and a half, 2-hour ride home. I was twisting over it. Like it was just so uncomfortable to get booed off stage.
Who were your favorite comedians? Who were the people that made you want to become a stand-up?
Wow, my phone is dying.
All right. Well, we'll wrap
I don't know
this
why
up
that is. No, it's okay. It's okay. I would say Don Rickles was probably my favorite. Yeah, he to this day. I mean, I loved Rodney. I loved Richard Pryor. May have been the most talented, underrated. Loved him. But I also had a love for comedic actors. Like, loved Jerry Lewis, loved the Marx Brothers, Three Stooges. I don't think there's ever been a funnier man that ever lived than Curly in the Three Stooges. I mean, it was, it's like slapstick and it's violent and all this stuff, but you watch his mannerisms and his timing and his sound effects that came. I mean, I don't think anybody's made me laugh harder than Curly in my whole life. The Marx Brothers, genius, Abbott and Costello. And I loved Dom DeLuise in all those movies. Yeah. Tim Conway. These guys made me pee my pants. I'm going to tell you the most underrated actor that ever lived. Fred Gwynn.
Oh, I'm a big fan of Fred Gwynn. Yep. Mm-hmm.
You think about what that man had to do as Herman Munster, and with using other people's jokes, writing for him, and how he pulled that off. And you watch other stuff he's done. I mean, that guy, the greatest actor that ever lived, Carol O'Connor. Never been a funnier show than All in the Family.
Yeah, I agree. Best sitcom of all time.
Best. And there's not a close second. Second and third for me, The Odd Couple and The Honeymooners. But they're distant.
Yeah, when you mentioned Dom DeLuise, just a quick thing. The first musical I ever went to had Dom DeLuise in it. It was a Little Shop of Horrors, and he played the.
Wow.
He played.
Wow, you're old.
Yeah, I'm an old man. I just turned 45 this year. But it was fun. He played the shopkeeper, which Mr. Mushnick.
He was brilliant. And Gene Wilder. I mean, nobody could have done what he did with Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein. And, I was never a big Willy Wonka fan, but you watch that movie as an acting student, you watch what he did. I mean, who was better than him? Peter Sellers. I probably had more affinity toward the comic actors growing up than I did toward the stand-ups, but Don Rickles, he can make me pee my pants.
Very, very similar to Bobby Heenan, I think. They mention it.
Yeah. And I always said that, and I would say this to Bobby even, that it was possible for him, if he never got into wrestling, just went out to Hollywood, he may have made more money as an actor, comedian in Hollywood than he did as. That's how talented he was.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Bobby Heenan's appearance on the Bill Maher shows before his current show? Was it Politically Incorrect?
Yes.
And I thought he was so funny on that when he does like a fake fall into the after he called and it was like there was a big audience for that didn't know who he was, and he killed. Yeah, I don't think Mar even knew he was joking, but it was great stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so Intimate Night with Jameson and Friends. That's August 7th at Gio's Restaurant, New York City. We'll put the link up on the website, and you can also email you at jamesonwwf@gmail.com to get you.
Jameson X WWF.
WWF. All right, I will.
Not EX, just an X.
And it's Jameson with an E.
Jameson with an O. Yeah, there's an E in there too, but
right.
And got a fucking O, not an I. You know what happened was it's even misspelled in the encyclopedia.
Oh, really?
Which is funny and fitting for the character that, they misspelled my name.
Honestly, I Googled beforehand and everything told me it was with an I, so I put an I. And then Joseph Bruin's like, it should be with an E.
You know what? I'm going to tell you what happened. It was always O. All my publicity photos, everything. It's spelled with an O. No, not an yes, an E.
I don't know.
Instead of an I, like the whiskey is with an E. But this knucklehead that wrote that article with me, Bundy, and $1 Million Man on the cover, that with he's pulling me out of a stocking or something. The writer used an I. And everything on the internet, which I come to find out years later, they're spelling Jameson with an I.
Right.
But I got to stay with what my mother gave me.
Yeah, exactly.
My mother didn't give me. The funny thing is, we wrote that character and named him Jameson, and I was not expecting to play him. But the literal translation of my last name is Jameson.
Oh, really?
Digiacomo is of James, or James' son. So, which is a pretty wild coincidence.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. I did not know that.
There you go. I'm full of that.
Yeah.
I'm full of a lot of things.
Speaking of Bundy, because he went on to become a stand-up. Did you ever do any shows with him?
No. And I know, and I got a list of who's doing it. Like Hacksaw, and it's funny. I have somewhat of a connection with, although we met, but we never really talked about the connection. But Mick Foley, who does stand-up, went to high school with Kevin James.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin and I became somewhat chummy because my son played his son on his show, and even got invited to his house for a birthday party, and thinking that there's going to be 200 Hollywood people there, but it was for his daughter. And the reason I got invited, because she was in love with my son. They're like the same age. And, but I show up thinking there's going to be hundreds of people. I don't got to worry or anything. It was all family. It was all family, and me, a Jadrul.
Yeah, I've seen Foley, his stand-up. It's very fun. It's more storytelling than, stand-up, which I think is kind of what your show is going to.
And that's what I'm looking. That's what I'm going for. Take some pressure off of me and James a little bit. Like if we have the rest of the show, you got a couple stand-ups there, but not necessarily. I mean, guys have great stories, and if me and James could do a little bit of shtick, would rather it be big names, even if they're not comfortable in a stand-up format, because they could just tell stories.
Right. Yeah, and then wrestlers, especially from that era, I think are natural storytellers.
Yeah, and I'm comfortable. The names that have expressed an interest heading into after Labor Day, these are good names that people are gonna want to come see.
Very cool. Well, keep us updated. We'll let people know, and if anybody runs by that I think would be good, I'll send them your way. If you
do that. Now, where are you? You're up in New England?
Yeah, I'm in Massachusetts and Inchers in West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
You guys look much closer than that.
Yeah,
would never guess that you're that far apart. Where in Massachusetts? A lot of my family is up there.
I'm on the Cape Cod.
Oh, you son of a! No, my family's up in like the middle of the state, right on the border.
Like Worcester, maybe, or no, that's in the west.
What, like past Worcester, north of Worcester.
Yeah, I'm never really up that direction. I was up in Boston this week, but
not many people have gone up that far. There's only about 9 people live in that town.
Right. Yeah, I've been to Worcester.
Yeah, and Lowell. Where's Holy Cross?
I don't really know. I should know all these things living here, but
I think it's Worcester. But yeah, we passed that with the big polar bear on the side of the road. Yeah. I try not to go up there much, but my mother lives up there, and who knows how long she's going to be around. Just kidding.
If you ever go back to Worcester, there's a very bizarre. I'm kind of fascinated by this. There's a very weird statue of he supposedly was like an old judge who helped found Worcester, but he's riding a turtle. But it doesn't look like he's riding. Well, it looks like he's riding the turtle, but in a very different way than you can imagine. But it's a very.
And is it a priest?
No, it's not.
What did you say?
It's a judge, I believe. He's riding a turtle.
Yeah. All right.
Well, he's a young boy at the time. It's very bizarre.
Wow. Yeah. Well, if you said priest, I would have said you sure it was a turtle. But...
I'll find here. I can show you the statue really quick if you would like to see
it. He loves showing the statue.
I got to see it. And put my glasses back on, by the way, to see this.
All right, let me try. I'm trying to find a good picture here.
There's a long time you sent it to me, so I don't know if I can find it real quick.
I got it.
Well, you got it.
Trying to find a big picture though, so you can see it better.
All right, while you're looking, I can't believe we talk comedy and I didn't mention Monty Python.
Oh yeah.
Faulty Towers. Oh my God. Yeah, those guys were.
See this turtle here?
Is that a turtle?
Yeah, I don't know.
I got to get closer.
Yeah, let me find a better picture. Well, here's up close of the face. Maybe. There's a whole page dedicated to this, but he doesn't look too happy.
Yeah, that's a turtle, and that's definitely not riding.
It's just in the middle of town. I don't know. I could just imagine whoever the sculptor, what was going through his mind while he was making this.
Right.
This is a pretty good picture. All these pictures just send me
Turtle Boy. That's
it's something.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, when everyone was tearing down the statues, I don't know why that was.
Right. Yeah, like they tear down Robert E. Lee and they leave that up. Right.
Like,
leave the turtle on. That one's kind of funny.
Right.
So there you go. That wraps up everything. I don't know why. I don't know how we got to Turtle Boy.
What a great way to end.
I agree.
Really?
Yeah,
really?
You can't really follow Turtle Boy, I don't think so. Well, it's very fun to talk with you. And
yeah, man, you too. Love you guys. Thanks for doing this. Hopefully people are going to come see us. I think it's going to be awesome.
It sounds really fun, honestly. Not just because you're here. Yeah.
The video, that 13 minutes, it's like the length of a Three Stooges short.
Yeah.
In its entirety, without interruption, freaking funny. It's really funny. It's Jameson really, just not performing well at the gym.
I'm like, I need to watch this.
I can't wait to check.
If you haven't seen the first 4 minutes yet, go. I guess if you went on my page, my Facebook is John Jameson with an E, Digiacomo. And one of my last few posts was I posted the first 4 minutes of this thing. It's really funny, and the next 9 are even funnier.
Cool. I'll share it to our Facebook group.
Mm-hmm. They'll definitely want to see it. Yeah,
and anybody listen. I still got a lot of room for friends on my Facebook. Anybody wants to reach out? I can be very entertaining, and only like maybe 15% of my videos show nudity.
Yeah, there's no turtles involved.
Funny you should say that. Yeah. All right. Which kind of kills an idea I had, but okay. Yeah, guys, thanks again. Hope to see you at one of these shows, maybe up there.
Definitely. I usually go to New England Fan Fest, but I've been to New York, not for a little while, but I'll be around.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to talk.
Yeah.
All right, guys. And love you guys out there in wrestling land. Thanks for giving me another chapter of my life.
Thank you for doing this. Really appreciate it.
All right, guys. Take care.
You as well.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. It was very cool having Jameson on here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He knows what Turtle Boy's all about now.
He does, which is that's my mission. I'm going to end every interview now on with bringing Turtle Boy. It probably won't go over as well with everyone else.
Mm-hmm. The video sounds pretty awesome. It's Jameson going to the gym and not doing so well. So I assume he's going to be falling over weights or something, but it sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely want to check that out.
Yeah. So, Incher, we talk about some of the wrestling this week. By the way, the Jameson thing, August 7th, Gio's Restaurant, New York City. We'll put all the links and everything here on YouTube. Also put it on the website. Everyone can check it out. And you can email jamesonxwwf@gmail.com as well to get your ticket information. And
friend him on Facebook.
His son, Greg the Hammer Valentine, and our buddy Mario Mancini. Been a little while since we talked to Mario.
Yeah, I know. It has been a while. We need to talk to him again.
Yeah. Thanks, Joseph, for setting this up. Maybe
yeah.
Some more interviews here. That was very fun. All right. Oh, I'm wearing this is my new shirt I got. I don't know if you could see it, but it's pizza and pineapples, and it says "Better Together." It's showing the love between pizza and pineapple.
I have yet to try a pizza with a pineapple on it, but I have said that I have gotten over my fear of pineapples, and I do enjoy pineapples now. So I would be willing.
I think you'll like it. It's a pleasant experience. You get you get the sweet and the salty, the sweet and the savory together. It goes well together.
Maybe it would be a video in the future for my YouTube channel.
Yeah, just eat it. Maybe. Don't throw it in the microwave or anything.
I won't put it in the microwave. It'll just be straight up taste test. Now, what's a national chain that I would have in my neck of the woods who would prepare this?
Oh, pretty much everywhere. Domino's has it. I would assume every chain has Hawaiian pizza.
So Domino's.
Actually, I haven't had Domino's before, but they did have it. Do you like hot? Are you not a big hot guy, are you?
Not really, no.
Well, they have two different ones. They have the Honolulu, and then they had like a spicy Honolulu, which also has jalapenos. But I think you can get just the plain one too. It's actually a good one, to be honest.
Excellent.
Papa Gino's but I don't think Papa Gino's the New England thing. Papa Gino's used to have a really good one that had chicken and pineapple and bacon. It was very good.
Okay.
But usually it's ham and pineapple. I will say I do think pepperoni and pineapple go together. But we'll get gonna get Jameson out of here.
Yeah, I think he's ready to go. So
yeah.
But I found his Facebook. I think I'm going to add him on my Facebook here. So. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. Add friends, and I'll update everybody whether Jameson added me or not.
I added him earlier, and I thought maybe he didn't accept, but I did find out during the show he did accept.
Excellent.
All right. So, Incher, there was a whole bunch of wrestling this week.
Yes.
I did not watch it. I went to watch Money in the Bank Sunday, but it did not work for me. The Peacock was on the brink of destruction.
I've heard the Peacock has took a shit on a lot of people.
So. Yeah, so then I saw there was memes about it. So then I realized, it's not just me. It wasn't just my Peacock. It was the collective Peacock.
The collective Peacock took a shit.
It did.
Sorry, everybody, but no WWE Money in the Bank.
But
and the bad thing,
I did catch up on it today.
The bad thing about it, though, Jack.
Even though it's all spoiled for me by the time I watch it.
That's the thing. I was watching it, and I got an email, and I checked my emails. Normally, I don't get emails sent of spoilers to my email address.
WWE themselves are spoiling the show.
That WWE themselves spoiled it for me. They said John Cena's back, and I'm like,
yeah, I got the same thing. I was like, I was even staying off Facebook. Some was already spoiled for me because people post pictures like instantly what's happening.
Yeah,
but so I'm staying out, and then I've got my phone and it pops up who's emailing me? It's WWE. Yeah, John sounds like, oh, okay, well, that might have been pretty cool to see if, live.
If I knew it wasn't happening, yeah. But yeah, but the thing is, he came back and he didn't really even say anything to Roman
I don't think he
Reigns.
said anything, did he? Just walked out.
He just walked out and he's just like walking around with his weird haircut now. And
did he go bald and he has like some kind of weird transplant?
He's got it combed straight back, and it's like you can tell there's a big bald spot there, but he's trying to hide it. And I know his dad has resorted to other things where, he's taking care of it, but
I remember back in the day when Bruno Sammartino used to come back, and you might not have noticed he had the big comb over when he's doing the commentary, but when he'd start wrestling, it would all flip over to the side. But, things have progressed since those days, but it's very strange looking. You can tell it's not natural. It's not good looking either.
Yeah. So
it was weird though. So I was watching it today, trying to get it watched before the show.
Yeah.
And, so I wasn't really paying much attention to the match because I knew who won. Because I think I knew who won everything. Because even like you said, WWE's posting pictures of everything that happens. All the winners of the matches. So I knew
of all people, WWE, you do have a product where people can go and watch it. They may want to watch it without spoilers,
Yeah. I don't know if the match was good or not, to be honest with Reigns, and I assume it probably was good, but I just wasn't paying attention. And but then when I heard the music, I was like, oh, this is the one I want to see. So I paused it, went and got my coffee, sat back down, and like, oh, so I want to see this promo. And he just comes out, and then it went off. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that was all he did. It wasn't no promo or anything. I thought you would at least get a promo, but no promo.
Jonathan Jackson! Get Peacock Premium, you cheap sons of bitches. Unleash the car.
So you got to have premium to get like a stream that
I
works?
have it already, don't I? I get it.
I think I do, yeah. Like I get it for free because I'm a subscriber to Xfinity.
Same with me.
And I think, it's free already. So, but thank you for the $5, Jonathan.
Yeah, exactly. That comes to about $2 after YouTube takes its cut.
Not to discourage anybody.
No, we really do appreciate it.
Take a large sum of
John Brown, by the way, you gotta send me your address and I'll send you out that autographed photo. I still have one left if someone would like an autograph. Guys and Fries photo, $10 or more to super chat here, and you will send one. If JJ wants one, he can send another $5 and I'll add it together.
I think for that super chat, I'm just going to carve his name into my arm right here.
Do it. 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 I don't know where my
That's fake, sir.
You ever think about carving my name into you?
No.
I knew somebody who carved their name into their girlfriend. Leg.
That sounds like an insane person.
His initials.
He's like, you're mine.
Yeah, and into her thigh. And
she was down with this, or it was.
No, but her parents didn't allow him into the house again after that. I remember.
Oh, imagine that. How mortified would you be if that was your daughter and like she came home with somebody's initials tattooed into her?
Yeah, he did it in their house. I wasn't there, but it was, everyone knew about it.
Jonathan Jackson says, I had 0 issues. So Jonathan Jackson, he isn't saying the Peacock was good to him.
I mean, he's a big fan of the cock.
Vince Rudo says premium, you don't get any ads on all programs.
Oh, so I guess I don't have premium. I'm not paying.
I guess I don't.
I don't mind ads, so fuck it.
I don't mind a little ad here and there, whatever. I watched that one for
not too much on there I like, but I do like whatever it is with all those Star Treks on. I like it. It's got a lot of stuff on. I like
Star Trek. You got they're on Amazon Prime and Netflix.
No, I mean the new no, I don't think they're on Netflix.
Picard.
Yeah, Picard and all those, but they also have all the Star Treks.
I'm not sure which one that is.
It's got a lot of good content. I like it.
HBO Max?
No.
I'm just guessing now. But
I forget.
Peacock. I know I watched that one Applebee's commercial several times while watching the broadcast of Money in the Bank, where Baron Corbin wants to have a table to itself at the end of the commercial. Rick Boogs is in the commercial. Have you bared witness to Rick Boogs?
Yeah, it's the first time seeing him.
Initial reaction, please.
The thing is, I heard so much about him. I'll be honest, I think I would have liked him a lot better if I didn't hear about him. Then I wasn't sure, because I know Disco, like if I hear clips of Disco, he's like saying he's like the greatest thing. I think it was funny, but I
Disco,
do think if I had never seen it before, I probably would have really liked it.
Disco likes Rick Boogs.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of puts a smile on my face just because Shinsuke plays off of him so well, but the Rick Boogs himself it doesn't really do much.
Yeah, I don't know. I heard so much about it and it was fine, but I don't know. It's just kind of goofy. I mean, it's fine. I don't know. It's better than a lot of the other stuff on the show.
Where I took last week off, and I had to catch up on a lot of wrestling. And I will say that I watched Money in the Bank. I have not watched Raw yet, but I'm sure I'll watch it later on in the week. I had to watch 2 episodes of AEW, and my God, it's like night and day. Watching a WWE show and then watching an AEW show, it's just like...
Last week's AEW was great.
Yeah, it's so much better. It's just like, I don't even mind watching this. Some WWE shows, I'm just like...
Yeah, it's like, it's really like, it's chore. It's a chore to get through. It's like, I have to watch this. That's why I stopped watching it like a year and a half ago, because it really was a chore to watch for the show. And then there's just like, what am I doing?
Now, they're all not chores. I will give them credit where credit's due. I thought SmackDown this week was a very good episode of SmackDown.
I always hear good things about SmackDown. I haven't watched it for a long time, but
I mean, whoever is putting the effort into SmackDown, they should move them over to Raw and have them do that show.
I always like the Reigns storyline stuff, so I'm sure.
Yeah, it's like, why can't we have something like that on Raw instead of like Drew McIntyre getting a broken sword and he's pissed off about it? And
yeah, I see. So I don't watch a show, so then I watch the pay-per-views, and so you get a little bit of the the backstory of the shows sometimes. When did he he seems like his promos are like all comedy based now. He used to be like the serious guy. I think they do that to everybody. And then he just comes off like it doesn't fit the character and he's not good at delivery of it.
No, he's not. It's very forced. And I think he should try to get it back to more serious character because I mean, he looks like a legitimate badass. I mean,
I was always a fan of his.
And just him doing comedy does not work. No.
So the pay-per-view, we'll go match by match, but I have one big question, which I think kind of ruined. I mean, whatever, but so after you have the men's Money in the Bank, you Rollins just goes like, I shouldn't even be in this anyway. I should be for the world title. So I'm just saying whoever wins the world title match, I'm next. And I was just like, that just ruined the whole concept of Money in the Bank. What is the point of it? Well, if someone who loses it can just say, I get the next title shot. Why even bother being in it to win? They could just walk up and say, I get the title shot.
He's doing like a crazy character right now. So I don't think you're supposed to take him seriously.
Yeah, but it seems like he's going to get the title shot.
He probably will, just because it says WWE. But just from the storyline standpoint, he is like doing like a crazy kind of character.
I also think him coming out and costing Edge the match was a terrible way to build the Reigns Cena match because the Reigns Cena, you want Reigns at his hottest, and now he should have lost this match. So now you have the guy that squeaked out against Cena as opposed to the guy that been beating everybody recently.
So what's the storyline going to be for John Cena taking on Roman Reigns?
This is also a problem. Every time a guy comes back, they just immediately go for a title. Like Goldberg, he just comes back, even though he's lost his last couple matches, he's back and he goes for the title. And I have no problem, these guys eventually getting a title. But you're watching a show and it should make some type of sense. It makes no logical sense that a guy would come back, has no wins, and he would just get a title shot. Like that wouldn't happen in legitimate contest of any kind.
Yeah.
Like, can he win something to get a title shot, or just put him in a match with somebody else? I mean, you could think of some type of reason why he gets a title shot.
Yeah, you could come up with something. It was kind of like the Edge storyline. They didn't really do a whole lot to make him like.
Well, at least he won the Rumble.
Yeah. He won the Rumble, and then Daniel Bryan weaseled his way into the match.
Yeah.
And then, but like with this new one, I guess just because they wanted just to have Edge and Roman Reigns, I don't know. But.
Yeah, now it's going to be Goldberg's in it. Goldberg versus Lashley's coming up.
Oh, that's going to be the next one. I thought they were trying to book towards something else with Lashley. Like
no, I think Goldberg was on Raw and he's going to fight Lashley.
Oh, I did not watch Raw. Okay,
I didn't either, but
yeah,
from what I gathered, I don't know.
I've seen on some of the spoilers that one of the most god awful characters I think WWE has come up with in a long time, and put it on somebody who cannot portray it, even though it's a bad character to begin with, is Nikki Ash.
I could not agree more. And I think the name is awful. Nikki Ash. Why? What? First of all, it shouldn't even be Ash. It should be AASH. It should be AA Ash. Ash. You can still say it, but it's people say, oh, it's the same as shit. With Rosie superhero training. It's like, no matter what you think how stupid that was, at least there was a joke there at superhero trading SHIT shit.
Mm-hmm.
Almost a superhero, Ash. Okay, Ash. What is that supposed to mean? Nikki Ash?
Yeah.
Make a name that makes sense for superhero. Why is Nikki Ash a superhero?
Mm-hmm.
I said this on Facebook, and I have to say I don't want to be a dick, but some people are just stupid. They're just like, because she don't make fun of it, she came up with it. I'm like, I don't care who came up with it.
She came up with it?
I guess. That don't make it good. Whoever came up with it, it sucks.
Oh, it sucks. It's the worst freaking I mean, the Alexa Bliss stuff is bad. I think this is worse.
I agree. I think I've never seen anything in Nikki Cross to begin with. But
I kind of agree with that. I never liked her character when she came out with Insanity and she was running and biting the ropes and everything else. I thought that was just dumb. This character is just
it's a retread of Hurricane Helms and Mighty, the superhero thing, which was fun at that time.
Had funny moments.
Yeah,
but
you can't just copy an old gimmick that's not even that old.
And she can't deliver it either.
No, I mean, it sucks.
I think it's bad to begin with, but it's like she can't turn like lemons into lemonade. It's just bad.
I almost just stopped watching that pay-per-view because that match sucked. The opening match, the women's Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Like that gimmick sucks. Alexa Bliss stuff's embarrassing.
She's just standing on the ropes throughout most of the beginning of it.
And the commentators even like saying, "Oh, she's trying to use her powers." I'm like, come on, like, this is stupid. Tamina's horrible. Like every move is just botched.
Just a botchamania on Tamina.
It was a bad match. Like you could clearly see they're working together and everything just looked poor. And
yeah, I don't really have much positive to say about this pay-per-view, honestly.
And then again, people are like, just be happy she won. I was like, why? I don't want her to win. I hate the character.
Is she an internet darling or something? Why are they enjoying this? I honestly have trouble like believing anybody who says that they're enjoying Nikki Ash. I mean, because to me, it's the worst thing.
I agree. Ever. This is what makes no sense to me. The internet will turn on people like Charlotte and these other people, but they'll say this woman should be like, come on, like these people are way better. Charlotte's like a million times like better in every way possible.
I'm not even a big fan of Charlotte, but I would say that she's definitely way better, hands down, than Nikki Ash.
My only problem with that match, I actually thought that was a great match.
Rhea Ripley and Charlotte.
Yeah, is this they need to portray one of them as a babyface.
Yeah, it is. It's weird dynamic that both of them are coming out there and trying to be like a heel. I would think it would be easier for Ripley
either two baby faces better than two heels.
Yeah, it's very weird dynamic that they're doing with that, and the booking for the match wasn't very good either. I just thought it was very poorly executed.
I didn't see any of that.
Well, yeah. Just they had that one angle where they both come out in crutches, and she's like, "I'm going to do the same thing that I know you're trying to do to me," and then she swings the crutch at her. It wasn't good. Bad.
There's this weird thing on the internet, I think, that people just think everyone needs a turn with like the title.
No.
And like, okay, that's like a nice like sentiment, but it doesn't make for good television. No. It makes for no one ever getting over. Like, just because you're around doesn't mean you should be the champion.
All right, Vic. We're going to have to publicly shame Vic here. He's saying in the chat room, I like the Nikki Ash character. I must be the only one. Apparently, he's not the only one because you've seen other people who like her as well.
Yeah, Steven.
Oh, Steven. Oh,
this is the kind of stuff that makes I watch and I'm like, oh, this is why I don't watch a show. Good God,
it really is just douche cringy stuff. When you start watching, you're just like, oh, please, nobody come in and watch me watching this, and don't, please, Heavenly God, I don't want to explain it to anybody because that's just the worst thing ever. Why is this person calling herself Nikki Ash and she thinks she's a superhero? And I'm just like,
It's like, and if you're gonna,
I know you think I'm an idiot for watching this right now. I'm sorry, but I don't like this either.
Yeah, and if you're gonna do it, which to me it just sucks anyway, don't even do it. But at the very least, get like a superhero name. Like, would you see a superhero named like Bobby Ash? Like, it doesn't even make any sense.
Bobby Ashley, probably. I mean, that's a pretty heroic.
Maybe that's what that woman was. Bring her back.
She had a money character in the works right there.
Now I'm looking this up. I didn't realize because the Usos had the belts on the show, and I was like, "Did I miss a match?" But apparently, it was
the pre-show.
Why would they put a title switch on the pre-show?
And it even worked into the main event of the show.
Yeah,
that makes no fucking sense. Why did they put it on the pre-show when you're going to be watching the show? And it made something for the end.
Yeah, and that's a match I actually would have liked to see.
Yeah, most definitely.
But yeah, so
I figured that he was up for a public shaming or something, but apparently not. I mean, nothing's really happening to the man as far as we've seen, which is probably what they should do. They probably shouldn't.
I agree. If you're gonna punch him and backstage, start whipping him.
Yeah, make him do some Hindu squats or something.
Make him the turtle and the Turtle Boy statue.
No. I'm surprised that you would come up with that, but
yeah, I try not to work blue. This match, I don't know. I couldn't, like, I saw that this was a match of Viking Raiders against Omos and AJ, and I just didn't care or pay attention. I don't know. Poor AJ. This is what AJ's in now. He's in this match. I know people love the Viking Raiders for some reason. I just see that gimmick and I just think this is fucking stupid. These guys that are Vikings.
I think people are in tune with them because they've been around for so long. They've been in Ring of Honor, and I think people still want to just keep them at a high level, but they're doing a lot of dumb stuff with these.
Yeah, characters. I saw like highlights, and they were like playing baastball I was like, what?
That happened several months ago, maybe even a year ago, but
This is a mid 90s WWE gimmick or 80, like, these modern day Vikings.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
I love AEW. I like the guys. I think that they're
talented. They're very
talented. But I mean, they're given this characters that they have to come out and just real.
They probably came up with it. I do think they'd be better off with a more modern.
Since when does WWE let people come up with their own fucking characters?
It's terrible. Like, do you think they hear something like we're Vikings or I'm Nikki Ash? I'm like, yeah, that's fucking good.
I like that. Let's put Nikki Ash out there.
Nikki Ash. Now, if you tell somebody doesn't watch wrestling, there's a superhero named Nikki Ash, no one would understand that.
She's almost a superhero.
If you heard Mighty Molly, you're like, oh, okay, that's probably a superhero.
Like I think I'd rather just like
be like Nasty Nikki or
like. There's a lot of things I would probably rather do than to explain that character to somebody. And it's like, I would probably lick a shoe before I'd have to explain that character to somebody. Like, oh my God, I just feel like such a douche having to explain. Like, and people are like, oh, and you like this, because I'm just, I don't necessarily like this, but here's the character if you want to know.
Right. Man.
Like, it really just lazy, just dumb booking.
Yeah, it's awful.
Oh.
It's awful. It's not funny. It's not entertaining.
And like the way she does it, it's like there's no comedy to it. She's just like, I'm just here to be a superhero and almost be and it's like, what?
Yeah, it's just the shits. It's the total shits. It's bad storytelling. It's bad writing. It's bad performance. It's bad delivery. Terrible. So someone out there, I don't know, wrestling fan. It's like the movie The Stuff. Now that I don't watch Raw, maybe I'm not getting like this. Do you get like some kind of like radiation that seeps into your brain and melts your brain when you watch like Raw?
I guess.
So I don't know. I'm big fan of AJ, but this Omos guy,
he's pretty.
I get it. You push him because he's a giant, but
yeah,
they have people in developmental for years. Why didn't they keep this guy in developmental till he's like halfway decent?
He just blows right past him. He's like, right on the main show.
Developmental. Like he might be all right someday, but he's like so green.
Sorry, Johnny Wrestling. Here comes Almost. He's on the show.
They've really screwed themselves with NXT.
Mm-hmm.
They really should have a separate another developmental now, because NXT is like the cool indie show. See, if you have Almost there, he's going to be completely hated by the NXT fan base, but he's the guy that needs it the most.
Yeah.
It's a weird situation. I don't know.
Did you hear about Karrion Kross that he came on the show and he got beat by Jeff Hardy like on his debut match?
One of the biggest potential superstars in the company. And right away, it's always good to this is your first impression to this new audience, and boom, he loses.
I mean, Jeff Hardy's a big name, but does he really need a win? I mean,
you shouldn't debut anyone that you have any hope of doing something with a loss. That's just dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, he could just beat some job guy.
Yeah, really, just anybody. Like, I don't know. Like,
he didn't have to fight Jeff Hardy his first match. Or he could have beat Jeff Hardy his first match. Give him a win against an established guy right away. Build up to the match.
Bring out that goof that's with Otis and have him lose. What's his name?
People are telling me I don't know, maybe I'm just crazy because everyone's yelling it, but people are telling me he's the next Kurt Angle. I was like,
I remember watching Kurt Angle and I was invested into him after like a few of his matches, thinking, well, this guy's good.
I think if Kurt Angle had no promo ability, no presence, no like look, no charisma, and no legitimacy, then maybe they'd be comparable.
Yeah. Vince Rudo here in the chat room says Jeff Hardy beat him in 2 minutes, and Karrion Kross
2 minutes.
2 minutes, and Karrion Kross is still the NXT champ. So he is the NXT
story
champ.
Here? Did he slip on a banana peel, or he just come in and just get squashed?
I don't know.
What the fuck? They trying to bury NXT? Do you think Vince is trying
They
to?
went to Jeff Hardy and they're like, Jeff, you mind taking a fall tonight? He's like, no fucking way, man.
Maybe shoot pinned him like Sting had to.
He shoot pinned him.
Learned it from Sting.
He's like, let me teach you a little thing my buddy Steve Borden taught me. And he's like, wham! Shoot pin, baby. Count, motherfucker. 1, 2, 3.
Do they have any clue how to make like stars anymore? I mean,
I don't think they do. I honestly think they don't want stars anymore. I think they just want the brand to be the show. And
yeah, but
why you would try to book
it's not much of a worthwhile brand anymore.
No, I mean that you can't build a wrestling show like that. Nobody's like, hell yeah, I love ECW just because of the ECW letters.
Right.
You know, it's because of the characters that are on the show why you liked ECW.
I mean, you built it all over all this time, and it does have meaning. Clearly, they sold these things for billions of dollars. Also, but that's still not going to last forever if people keep stop watching a show like me. I'm a lifelong fan. I don't watch a show anymore. Mm-hmm. And how are you going to ever gain new people? I can't imagine someone watching it today for the first time and be like, yeah, this is something I'm going to devote my time to.
Yeah. Now, Aleister Black, his debut on AEW, I wasn't necessarily crazy that he was in the company, but now that I've seen it, I'm really enjoying it. I think he's doing some good stuff. And
that was when he first popped in. I thought that was just an amazing moment. Like people, everyone. Plus having the crowd there was great, and people were just really excited.
Yeah. So it's like
this will really show too if he really does some like good stuff here. It's going to show the difference between what someone can do in one company and what.
And then what the next week when Cody came out and he was like, talking about how he shouldn't have attacked Arn Anderson, a 65-year-old man. And then, he called him out and then he came up on the big screen and then he actually appeared in the ring. I thought that was so well done.
I really liked the contrast of Cody all in white and him all in black. I know it's kind of like a basic thing, but I thought it really worked for me.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. He brought attention to the fact that some people were booing Cody,
but
so it has me interested where it's going to go.
They got to pick one name though. I mean,
I think they did, but for some reason, I normally like Excalibur, but I don't know why he had to keep calling him Johnny N.
Did nobody let him know what the name was before he was?
I don't know.
That's so awkward. Mention it. Like that's Johnny Kickass or whatever his name, Johnny N, Tommy N. That's his name.
Why even bring it up?
Yeah. I almost think he was just like acting off of his instincts and kind of forgot the name or something. But they keep saying it. It's like, stop saying that name. Just stick with the one name now. What's his one name? A fucking Black.
Malachi Black.
Malachi Black. Yeah, just stay with that.
Yeah. And like, they talk about like, Excalibur's like, I wrestled this guy back in like. It's like no one cares because like who thinks I know Excalibur's a wrestler, but who really watches the show thinking he's not like Jerry the King Lawler or someone that like the history of wrestling. So if like Lawler would say I wrestled this guy, I'd be like, oh, that's interesting, but or Jericho or
Corey Graves rarely brings up that he was a wrestler.
Right.
Even though I hate that fucker.
Same way.
I think the new guy's way better than Corey Graves.
Who's
like
that?
McAfee. I can understand why he's a commentator. I've never understood why Corey Graves was there.
I think Corey Graves is the best commentator in WWE.
McAfee's better. Chat room.
I've only seen a handful of times. I've not been too into him, but I know people really seem to like him. But what I've seen, but I've only seen a couple times on the pay-per-view.
I will say when he got on Michael Cole's head and he was riding him. I thought that was a little out of question. He probably shouldn't be getting on Michael Cole's head and riding the poor guy. I mean, I know he's annoying and everything, but I mean, he is an older dude. He was up on top of him. And he's like, "Arr!"
Somebody's like, "Oh, Cole's the best." I'm like, Cole's always been bad. Just because he's been there a long time,
he's just been there forever, and you're just forced to just tolerate Michael Cole. Basically.
Yeah, it's almost like people just assume he's this like legendary commentator because he's been there for so long.
I have no idea how he's been there for so long. Honestly, I mean, they go through people like crazy, but Michael Cole, he just stands the test of time.
Like I only watching the pay-per-views, it'd be like, who the fuck is this guy? Is like Bobby Smith or something? Was the Sammy Smith or something? Was the new guy? I was like, who the hell is this?
Who, McAfee?
Like it was on the pay-per-view. Something Smith, Bobby Smith.
Oh, the lead guy for Raw now.
Yeah, who the fuck is this?
Oh,
every time I watch it, it's somebody like the people are.
They've been switching a lot, and for some reason, they took Graves from SmackDown and put him on Raw. With the
he should. I don't know why they had him on both shows. If you're doing a brand split, you can't have the one commentator on both shows. That never made it.
Yeah. I think they just wanted to split him and his girlfriend. So.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, because Carmella's on SmackDown and he's on Raw now.
They love to do that.
They love to do that. I don't know why, but they do. But McAfee's better than you, Graves, if you're listening. So. But I know he's listening because he made those jokes back in the day about hitting it out of the park when I was, and like just the week before I was talking about that. Like, you remember that? You remember it? Just say yeah.
All right. Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course.
You remember it.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I'll say yeah. Sure.
I was like he was hitting something out of the park, and then he said it on Raw, like the very week afterwards.
I haven't watched Raw in almost 2 years.
Well, this was a long time ago. But I'm just saying, I think Corey Graves listens to us.
Oh, you said McAfee.
Yeah, I'm saying McAfee's better than you, Corey Graves.
Oh, I thought you said McAfee listened to the show.
I don't know if he listens to us or not, but Corey Graves does, and I just want to shatter his spirits right now.
So Lashley versus Kofi. I don't know. I didn't watch this match. I'm sure it was fun.
That's a hell of a review, Jack. I'll say Kofi and Bobby Lashley. I had like nothing. I did not want to see it, and I watched it, and I was just like, yeah, whatever. That happened.
I mean, I'm with you. There's no chance that Kofi was gonna win, so it's just
I was thinking to myself, just get out here, Kofi, and job already. Let's get this over with. You know that's what's happening.
Yeah,
Kofi, I just don't think Kofi.
There was no possible way that he was. I mean, it was just not happening.
He's had a title run. It was pretty lackluster. I don't think.
I'm kind of sure Lashley wouldn't be losing to anybody right now, but like if he's wrestling somebody else, at least like it might be interesting. And I even like Kofi, but I don't want to. Like what? I don't know. I haven't watched the show, but like, what has he done to be in the title picture?
Oh, they had some rigmarole or something. I don't know.
Whatever.
It wasn't anything.
If you watch a show for wrestling analysis, you're watching the wrong show.
Exactly.
Charlotte Flair versus Ripley. I thought this was a really good match. I did watch that one. I like that one. I did watch this next one too. The men's Money in the Bank, way better than the women's one. This was pretty awesome, actually. I thought.
It was pretty cool. You had Kevin Owens doing some crazy stuff with the ladder, and
this was a match too that was really benefited by the crowd. Which I'm going to bring this up right now. I was going to wait till the questions, but our boy Lexar sent in some questions, and I don't think it's physically possible. I don't think it's scientifically possible for me to disagree more with this statement by young Lexar. It's just absolutely impossible.
He normally makes so much sense, though. I mean, Lexar,
So this is from Lexar.
If anyone were going to ask any of his questions until he called in, but
even if I can understand like a Nikki Ash before anyone would agree with this. Okay. And I can't understand that. But here we go.
Okay. Let's hear
it. Last year's version of Money in the Bank was the best version of the match. It goes to show that you don't need a crowd. Or have several dangerous ladder spots to have all you need. All you need is some comedy, suspense, and some creativity. And if anyone disagrees, they don't like new things and wrestling and is miserable.
No, Lexar. No.
I think if that was a real statement that you thought about and wrote out, no offense, but I think this isn't like a saying you shit for brains. I think you literally have shit in your brains. Like you have feces is like gonna start dribbling out of your ears and out of your eyeballs.
That's a little harsh, but I mean, do I agree with the comment? No, I don't think last year's Money in the Bank was better than this year's. I honestly think they should destroy a lot of that footage. And just
I agree.
never
I
show
thought
it
that
again.
was unwatchable shit.
Like
that was the one up on the top of the roof. That was horrible. That was one of the worst things I've ever seen. They're running around the
It wasn't
building.
too good. No,
It was fucking terrible.
It was pretty bad. But they did kill 2 people. Like they threw Ray off the roof and Aleister Black.
People
I think
die all the time, and they don't even sell death on WWE.
They totally no sell death.
People talk about no selling in AEW. They might no sell a super kick, but in WWE they no sell getting eaten by zombies and getting thrown off a building and dying.
Well, Miz still is in the wheelchair, but he doesn't really talk about why he's in the wheelchair.
He was eaten by zombies and he's in a wheelchair.
Yeah, I think he would be more incapacitated than to be rolling around in a wheelchair. But
remember, end of the Day of the Dead, he's like, choke on it.
Yeah, they pull him.
Show up in the next one in a wheelchair.
You see the chicken that they pulled out of him, the rubber chicken. There's like a rubber chicken when they're pulling out all the guts.
He died a couple years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's his name? Joe Plant. Something with a P.
Yeah, I had him on the show too. He's a real crazy guy, but it was a very, very fun interview. I'd recommend checking that one out.
Mm-hmm. The zombies ate his kneecaps. Well, that's true, Jonathan Jackson. He might have a point there.
Could be.
I don't think a zombie would be feasting on the kneecaps, but maybe they just had
I don't think there's a lot of meat.
No.
Instead of eating brains, they're going to start eating knees.
No, that movie's not getting made.
There's a Night of the Living Dead 2 coming out. I'm not sure how I feel about this, but
who's making it?
Some dudes.
Are they allowed to do that? Call it a sequel?
That's my question. I
get him on the show and ask him, are you allowed to do this? I mean, I know the original is public domain, but are you allowed to make a sequel to a public domain film?
Yeah, and I knew several of the guys from the conventions, the original, and none of them made any money off of it. So it's kind of weird to be like, I'm gonna,
I guess we could make White Zombie 2. White Zombie 2.
Boom.
Yeah, get it done. If it's
so Big E one, just put New Day back together. Jesus.
I like Big E winning the Money in the Bank. I think that they're going to give him a shot where he's, going to go for the belt. And
I've said this for years on the show. You can make one of those guys the main event guy. Go with Big E. That's fine. But you don't have to split up the group. I would keep them together.
Yeah, they work good together.
People want to see them.
Quite been the same since they've been split it. So put them back.
People want to see it. People like it. They sell a lot of merch.
Mm-hmm.
Roman Reigns defeated Edge. This was a 33-minute match. Holy fuck.
33 minutes.
It probably was great. I wasn't paying attention.
But yeah, the Usos came out and they were trying to interrupt, and Ray and Dominic came out to prevent them from interrupting the match. And that leads into what was on the pre-show, like we were talking about before, that they lost to those guys. So,
right.
But anyways,
so
Dominic, I like that they put over the fact that it was like Dominic's first time in front of the fans on SmackDown, like because he's never been with the live crowd. So I thought that was kind of a cool moment.
Yeah. Big fan of crowds being back. It does make
most
shows
definitely.
all shows better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I haven't watched Raw from this week, but I'm assuming it helps that Raw has a
the live crowds, good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Go away, COVID. Don't come back.
Right.
We don't want you to come back, please.
Don't come back no more, no more, no more, no more. I saw in Madison Square Garden, you have to show proof of vaccination to get in.
I got mine right up there. So if I went to MSG, I can get it. But is there any confidential information on that?
I posted a picture of mine. People told me not to. I'm not really positive why. I think maybe someone can make a fake one or something.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I won't do that then. But
I had mine up on my Facebook for a while. But
yeah, I've got that sticker somewhere. But
I keep mine in my wallet, although it's a little too big, so it's kind of frayed on the one end.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I keep it in there. I know a lot of my movie making friends were in favor of this. They're thinking about for movies, you have to show proof that you're vaccinated.
I think it's
make
fine.
a movie. I think that works.
I'm for it, but I know a lot of people aren't. But I mean, I don't know. Just get
around a lot. I know when they went back to acting there for a little while, even some big Hollywood things had to stop early because the COVID spread so much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think if you're working with people all close like that, you should be vaccinated.
Let's just nip this shit in the bud and get it over with, you know? Get everybody.
There's the rumor going around that who's the big the Rock's cousin or niece or whatever her name is? Nia Jax.
Yeah.
That he that she is gone from WWF because she won't get her vaccination.
Really? She's that against it?
I guess.
You're going to lose the job that you're probably going to make the most money at? I mean,
that ref, he gave up he gave up at least $100,000 because he wouldn't get vaccinated. And so they said, if you have to get vaccinated, if you're not going to get vaccinated, you have to get tested every day and then wear a mask. And he wouldn't do that either. So it's like, you got to do something. You can't just refuse everything.
Why would he do that? I mean, just get the damn shot. I mean, you feel bad for a day or so, but then it's over with. I mean,
I didn't even feel bad either shot.
I felt bad on my second one, but it only lasted a few hours. So, I mean, then I was right as rain. So, but yeah, like Nia Jax, what's she gonna do? I mean, is she gonna go to another wrestling promotion? I mean,
I don't know. Most of them would probably want you to be vaccinated too.
I would say, yeah.
Unless it's like, you
are in a huge arena full of people too. I mean, it can spread pretty far. So I think it's in your best interest to get vaccinated. I mean,
she's big too. So like if she'd get it.
Oh, I'm not speaking on that, Jack.
I'm not making fun of her. I'm just saying, big lady. I keep hearing stuff over here. I think there's some type of critter down here.
Maybe it's Nia Jax hearing you talk about her.
I had a possum.
That ass.
I had a possum in my kitchen a couple weeks ago. That was interesting. But that's what happens when you live by the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Although I never had a possum in the house before. This is a baby one, though. He's very cute. But anyway, he's gone. Unless he's down here somewhere.
Once upon a time, Jack, I told my friends that I thought the song by the Toadies, Possum Kingdom, was a love song. And they're like, what the hell is the matter with you?
I don't get it.
It's a song about murder.
Oh, that probably is love to you.
But I mean, there's lyrics in it where you thought, okay, but it's really him just trying to lure her in to go murder her. But like there is like love elements, but I just wasn't bright to catch on to that at the time. But
Juju, beware.
Make up your mind.
When you think of love,
but he is screaming at the end of the song, "Do you want to die?" So, not one of my stellar moments for everybody out there. So, that was Cooter who I told that to, and he was like, "What the hell? That's a song about death." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." Duh.
So Nia Jax tweeted, "God made my immune system, and I trust him the most."
Well, God doesn't sign your paychecks, so get back to work and get that fucking shot.
Wouldn't have God made the vaccine too?
Yeah, I mean, he made people able to produce the vaccine, so, and he made COVID. Then, if you're going to go off of that,
the devil did it.
The devil did it.
Whenever I do this lately on pictures, it's the claw. I always do. Everyone's saying I'm grabbing titties, but I'm not like trying to be a pervert.
At least it's not a turtle.
No one said that before, but until after I lost weight, everyone else thinks I'm a pervert or something.
I was about to say, you pervert. Why you want to grab my titties?
One woman said, though, I needed two hands to grab hers because they're big.
Right. Just one of them, man. Was that BB the MT?
No. I think she unfriended me.
She did?
Yeah.
Damn.
Fuck her.
You'd want to, wouldn't you?
No.
Yeah, you would.
I didn't think she's attractive then, and now she's probably like 60 or something.
You're going to get Bob Holly breaking into that basement in a minute. He's going to be like, "What are you talking about?"
Is he still banging her?
I don't know.
Man, that's a name you don't hear much about anymore, Bob Holly.
No.
Like, guys, after the guys that were there forever, they bring him back as agents and stuff, but he's not done anything.
Mm-mm.
He'd be a bad agent. He'd probably just like start kicking people in the head and stuff.
I helped that kid. He knew he had brain cancer after I beat the shit out of him. It was teaching him how to respect the business. Poor guy.
Former guy better, Bob Holly, or do you like him or Billy Gunn better?
Bob Holly or Billy Gunn? Oh, that's a tough one. But I'd have to say Billy Gunn I like better because, I mean, Bob Holly just beat the fuck out of that guy for no apparent reason. Just because he's having a bad day, apparently. And then he said, "It's for respecting the business." And he was like the nicest motherfucker on the show. Why are you beating the shit out of him for? There was plenty of people in that season of Tough Enough he should have beat the shit out of. He was just because Matt Capitelli was dumb enough to get in the ring with him at the time. He's like, "Yeah, I'm beating the fuck out of him."
What an ass.
And then Al Snow's like, "Sometimes you just have to learn things about this business." It's like, how can you fucking say that, dude? He just straight up mugged the motherfucker right in the ring. That's not respecting the business. That's just beating the shit out of somebody for no apparent reason. Because you're a sadistic fuck. I guess BB the MT wasn't giving him any at the time, so he was a little pissed off. Maybe she left him around then. And Matt Capitelli got the full brunt of it. Maybe. Mm-hmm. It's possible. God rest his soul, Matt Capitelli. How bad would you feel if you're Bob Holly that you just beat the fuck out of this guy?
Just ended there. How bad would you feel for Bob Holly? But yeah, beating people up.
He beat the hell out of the guy, and the guy's now passed on.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got to like think back on that and be like, "Man, I'm a real piece of shit." He
probably just sits back and laughs or something.
Probably.
Glory days. Start singing that song.
The glory days. I would really think, man, what a sadistic fuck if that's what he was like.
That's why, I mean, I never felt bad like when he got his neck broken by Brock. He's like, he's a total asshole. And then of all people, the sandbag, he's like, I'm wrestling Brock Lesnar. I'm not going to go for his move. It's like,
how fucking stupid is he? Brock's just like, it's like, dude, bro.
Like, I don't want the guy, like, you know, like, but I mean, come on, man.
That was pretty stupid. He's like, I'm just going to sandbag Brock Lesnar here. Seems like a good guy to try that on.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Incher's the baddest man on the planet, and he won't even do that.
No, not on Brock. No way.
All right. Should we take Zooms?
Let's take the Zoomers.
Who's zooming who? Who's zooming?
I can't stay real late tonight because I got a dentist appointment in the morning. So
all right, let's take the Zoom and we'll get to the questions.
Yeah.
Stevie. I don't know what
turning into like a paparazzi or whatever his name there. What's his name? Proverb.
Probably neighbors start calling the police. And I don't know. I wonder if they can hear me from the basement.
They might. Like that's a cavalier asshole yelling from his basement again.
She's across the street down here. I don't think she's talked to me in years now. I think about it.
Sounds like you guys had a good relationship going.
I don't talk to any. Well, no, I don't really talk to there's a new old guy that moved over here. He's pretty cool.
Do you wave hi at your neighbors or anything?
Oh, yeah, I wave hi to people. Well, I mean, when I think about it, but a lot of times I'll have my earbuds in. I'm listening to an audiobook or something, and I don't really pay no attention to people. You'll have to like try to get my attention when I'm walking around. Like, oh
yeah. Steven, do you wave at your neighbors?
Oh no.
You don't? No.
Oh.
Whoa.
I'm questioning your judgment here. You're a fan of Nikki Ash? And here
that was one of the highlights. Okay, so she got the briefcase, and spoiler, since you didn't see Raw, the following night they did a rematch of Charlotte versus Rhea.
Again?
Yes, the very next night. And it was the main event of Monday Night Raw was Charlotte versus Rhea.
Well, I mean, if they're gonna do it, it should be the main event.
Yeah, and so Charlotte keeps the belt, and then Rhea attacked her after the match, and then threw her back in the ring, and then Nikki comes out, and she's got the briefcase, and at first I thought it was a tease that she was like just standing on the ring apron holding the briefcase, and is she going to cash it in? Is she not going to cash it in? And then she gave it to the ref, and the announcer said, she's cashing in the briefcase. Okay. So then I think she just jumped on the turnbuckle and stood there and waited for Charlotte to stand up. And then she did her Nikki Cross body and pinned Charlotte and won the belt. I actually enjoyed that. I thought that was one of the highlights, especially when she went out and celebrated with the fans. I thought that was great.
Well, I haven't seen it, but I do not like the Nikki Ash character. I think all our Zoomers right now, they are fans of the Nikki Ash character. So,
well, to be perfectly honest with you, since it all started for the women, I may have not been the most happiest for this, because don't forget, I think probably Carmella's been the only one that got her first victory. And all we remember has been former champion. So this is the big highlight for me, of course. Like, she got the Money in the Bank that never won the belt, and then she did it 24 hours later. So this was a big moment.
So she's the only woman who's cashed in the Money in the Bank and actually got the belt?
No, I'm talking about not former champion. Or former
like
champion.
A non-former champion.
Carmella's been the only one that hasn't won the belt when she won it.
It's kind of a shame that Charlotte's already lost it, but I mean,
I agree. Why you had this big feud between the two,
Yeah.
I think the best women or two of the best women there, and then you just throw that all
I mean,
on this idiot.
I guess it does add to the unpredictability of the Money in the
Fuck
Bank.
the Money in the Bank. Just end this shit. It's not been interesting for 10 years.
Yeah.
It's the same thing all the time. Someone walks around with a briefcase and then it's
I don't know. I thought Rollins cashing
Fuck, it sucks for the baby face. Even if you like Nikki Ash, this is a terrible way for her to win the title in the first time. If you want to have the underdog baby face you think deserves having the title, she should win it fair and square, not after someone just had 2 grueling matches and they just run in and win it. That's how the heel wins it, not a baby face. So she won it. She beat somebody who wasn't at 100%.
Yeah.
Sucks.
So would you say then that Rob Van Dam's the only one who cashed in a briefcase properly?
I don't know. What's that? 100 years ago?
He cashed it in against Cena, right?
Yes, he did, and he announced it well in advance to promote the.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
I mean, the first time you had it, it was cool. First couple times, but Jesus, now you
You
got
can have
two
a top
of them.
edges. His is always forever the best.
Edge.
Yep. No,
Yeah.
I know, and he was the one that held on the
Lexar
longest.
saying the best one ever was Otis.
Otis when he lost it to the Miz.
The best storytelling ever.
Oh, with the storytelling part of it, yeah. Yeah, he lost it to freaking the Miz because the Miz like screwed him out of it in wrestler's court.
Fuck Money in the Bank. Stop it. That's what I say.
Well, I was going to
Nikki Ash sucks. She sucks as a wrestler,
Stop bringing it up.
and the character is horrendous.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me embarrassed to used to be a wrestling fan.
You're still a wrestling fan, bitch.
I like AEW.
Yeah. Are you just a strictly AEW fan? Is that
Well,
what
I mean,
you
if
are
there was,
now?
I haven't watched a lot of the other stuff to know if I like it or not, but I'm sure there's some other good stuff on.
Mm-hmm.
The views just plummeted. They're all pissed. They're like, "Fuck this show. You've got to show respect for the great Nikki Ash."
Screw them. I don't want them as viewers if that's how they feel anyhow.
Shit.
I mean, you should be able to listen to somebody and agree to disagree with somebody. You know,
No.
your
I
opinions aren't
disagree,
always.
and I'll say you're wrong for thinking otherwise. I'm not even going to agree to disagree.
Not agreeing to disagree on this one.
Nope.
What on what part? The Nikki Ash part?
Yeah. And
Okay.
definitely with Lexar, forget Nikki Ash. There's no way I'm going to agree to disagree with Lexar about that the show was better without a crowd. That's only something some lunatic would think.
I'll say that. Yeah,
I guess
AEW,
kind of self.
SmackDown, even Raw, all benefited from live people.
Wrestling in a whole. Anyone who thinks otherwise, I mean, come on. Come
Just
on,
stop
man.
being an asshole. Yeah, it's so easy. Like they add so much to the show, and it's just like, you don't want to watch a show where it's just people just sitting on no sound at all, and somebody just falls on the floor. And it's just like thud.
Then you have fake crowd and all that stuff was all horrible. And then the no crowd at all, like on Impact. I just watch it and I'd be like, want to like commit suicide. The show's just like so depressing.
They should have a lot of suicide helplines whenever they go to commercial for SmackDown. Just are you wanting to kill yourself from watching the show?
Should have brought in suicide.
Suicide.
No, suicide from Impact.
Yeah, then he's manic, and now he's back to suicide. So,
but Impact, I don't know. Do they have crowds yet?
I don't know. I've missed a few of their shows. I'm like 3 shows behind on them, and they had a
think
show
if
on
one
Saturday.
show has crowds, they can all have crowds. I don't understand.
Well, they film their stuff in
Impact.
advance, so it's like they might have to catch up to have
I see.
shows. So with crowds.
Yeah. And I want to take your word on this, Stephen, by the way. This isn't her fault, of course, but we know for sure they're trying to build it up to Dad, of course, but isn't Charlotte going the same route like they were with the hardcore title for just one night? Because this is just only 24 hours just for a championship run, because we all know all the past champions all the women that have won Money in the Bank, they've cashed in right away. And do you think the women's title means anything that much anymore? Not just because it's Charlotte's fault, because she's getting it for like a one night or one day. Because this is the third time someone actually cashed it in on her.
Yeah, when you say 14-time champion, 16-time champion, it's like you devalue your titles when you have like 24-hour reigns and you say, I'm a 14-time champion. It's like, it doesn't mean a damn thing.
Yeah.
If you're going to have her win it the next night, why'd you even switch it to begin with?
Yeah, just have like her run out with
it would have been more important.
Rhea Ripley's all beat down or something.
Yeah. Oh, and Steven, were you actually predicting, because I was already prepared for it, but do you think we're gonna have to wait a couple more weeks? I'm sure it's just because we already saw a couple of returns already, but they didn't want to do this maybe on all one night. But do you think they're gonna do this for SummerSlam with Becky back? Because I don't see Nikki holding the belt that long to take you on that Jackie Jones to make you happy, because I know for sure this has to be a bigger champ to head into SummerSlam.
Well, yeah, I don't think anyone could be into Becky Lynch versus Nikki Ash.
Yeah, Charlotte flipped off everybody during the pay-per-view when they started chanting, "We want Becky."
Yeah,
like, you want Becky?
Oh yeah, the Stone Cold moment. That,
and they turned the camera
off.
Yeah, and I swore that was a signal to let everyone know she was in the building for a moment when I wasn't aware of that.
So was Goldberg on Raw? I thought he was, but I could be wrong.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So is this all gearing up for SummerSlam? Is that what they're doing? They're getting like the big
these
matches
are all
for SummerSlam?
fresh matches for SummerSlam. Fresh matches using old people. Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg, John Cena versus Roman Reigns, Jinder Mahal versus Drew McIntyre.
Jinder Mahal?
Yep.
Jinder Mahal.
Yep. And Edge versus Seth Rollins. So they're your SummerSlam matchups.
Took the man's sword. What are you expecting to do? And then he broke it. I mean, then Drew McIntyre busted up his motorcycle. So
it's weird to have all those comebacks at once, don't you think? Like when you spread out Cena and Goldberg.
Yeah, but they only want to bring him in for SummerSlam.
No, but it seems like to do two like big comebacks, also to have two like old guys going for both titles seems kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's just one person on the roster I feel really bad for of how much it carried during the pandemic all year last year and the beginning of this year. I feel so bad for how big he became before we were waiting forever for this moment. Drew is now a mid-carder after a whole year. That's what I feel real bad for since fans are back.
I think
he's back on mid-card status.
It's a goofball.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to ask some of these questions here unless everyone can answer, unless there's anything else you want anyone to bring up here before we get to the questions, because Intra needs to go sleep.
I need to go, Betty.
Since you weren't on last week, I wanted to. I posted something about Paul Orndorff passed away last week, and
one of our favorite guests, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
Yeah,
met him at conventions.
Shame passed away, but
big fan of his personally.
So did you guys?
I always thought it was too bad that he holds records. His matches with Hogan, were so big, and I think they still hold the records for attendance. But it was the pre pay-per-view show, so I don't think they're really is remembered as well because they didn't main event like a pay-per-view. I know he's technically in the main event of WrestleMania, but more about Piper.
Trained a lot of guys in WCW as well. A lot of guys was trained by Paul Orndorff.
Big fan. I always was a fan.
Mm-hmm.
Great pile driver. I like the pile driver.
You
Yeah,
think Vader's battling him in heaven with flip flops on?
Could be. Maybe they're sitting back having a good time.
He's like, I want my win back.
Do you think that's what you do in heaven? Just start fighting?
Start battling. I mean, if you're a wrestler, what else are you going to do?
Play some Parcheesi.
It's a heavenly throwdown. Or cribbage. Maybe some cribbage.
I have cribbage on my phone.
Oh, am I
don't
wrong, by the
even know
way?
how
I
to
think this
play
is the end
cribbage.
of the Heenan family.
Yeah, most of them are gone. There's a few people left from the Heenan
Haku's still
family.
alive.
Haku, the Brain Busters.
Hmm.
Not too many, though. Brooklyn Brawler.
Well, briefly Terry Taylor, but
Yeah, but the majority of them, though, are passed away, including Bobby Heenan. Bruce Briscoe, do you think Cena is back for good? No.
no, this is only a temporary measure.
He's got a show coming on HBO.
Does he? What's this show about?
It's a character from Suicide Squad,
Oh, yeah.
which is weird. The movie's not even out yet, and they're already making a show about one of the characters. You think you'd wait and see how it does.
Before you make a whole show about it, yeah.
Matt Horton, do you think Cena has taken a leaf out of Sheamus's book with a no sunbathing policy? Is he white? Is he real pale? I don't know.
Probably.
Well, they'll fix it. They'll spray him up.
I was out in the sun when I went to the beach. I took my shirt off. I'm burned all over. Did not tan at all.
What happens with the Irish?
Yeah, I just burned. Just burned.
I'm Italian. I don't burn. I've only had one sunburn in my life.
My back's
I buzzed the head.
My back's all itchy right now from like skin peeling or something. So disgusting.
Man. Did you have a good time? Was it a nude beach?
No, it was not a nude beach. It was just a beach.
Did you make it one? You're like, it's
No.
a nude beach now.
I don't think that you can do that.
You can, but you'd get arrested.
I'm sure, yeah. Yeah.
Worth a shot.
No, I'm not doing that. Don't you know how to behave? I mean, like, why are you trying to make beaches into nude beaches when they're not nude beaches?
Oh, seems fun. It seems like that would be more fun than just being nude at a nude.
Not necessarily. I mean, nude beaches are just old dudes walking
That's
around.
what I'm saying. So if you go to a regular beach and it's like, it's nude beach time now, and pull it out. Yeah, that would be cool. What's the fun in being nude at a nude beach? If you're nude at just the beach, and you're like, you're doing something.
Getting arrested.
Man, don't you have any like a wild side? Do you have some rebel in you?
No. Just straight and narrow. I don't want to rock the boat, Jack. I don't want to rock the boat.
You got to start rocking the boat. I'm not saying just whipping the wiener. You don't have to whip the wiener out, but you got to do a little something.
Well, if you're trying to turn a beach into
I'm
a
not
nude
saying
beach,
you have to go
you
all
got to
the way
whip the
to
wiener
nude
out.
beach. You could do something, in between that.
Just
And I'm
rock
not
the
saying, like,
butthole out.
Mm.
Just put the butthole out there and see how people
That'd be
follow that.
weird. How do you whip your butthole out?
Maybe I'd burn my butthole and
You
I'd
do
say,
like
out my hole.
You doing like a Brian Knobs?
Well, that's like whipping the cave out. That's like, hello.
Could you imagine if someone told you had like a really pale butthole? Would you just sit there and like bend over and stick your ass like up at the sun for a while?
Well, they say, you'll get kicked where the sun doesn't shine. So I think that's where they're talking about.
Right.
The sun does not shine there.
Right. Might feel good, the hot sun shining on your butthole. How the hell did we get on this?
Yeah, you ask yourself. You're wanting to turn beaches into nude beaches.
Yeah, but you just started, you brought it around to the buttholes.
because you're saying whip your wiener out, and then you're like, don't go so far. And then I'm like, what would I do? I mean, when you're on a
Go
beach.
show a little thigh or something.
Oh, good Lord. What is this, the 1950s or something? like, oh, that young man over there. He's wiggling his hips like Elvis.
I thought that's. Are there beaches in West Virginia?
No, I went to freaking Myrtle Beach.
Oh.
It's in South Carolina.
What's his name from FanFest?
Who, Greg Price?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I didn't see him there. Does he live there?
No, but he used to try to sell people share. He tried to scam people to buy like
like a share,
share like the like a
timeshare.
Timeshare.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I do have some information, and if we had the man on the line, it would be good to know that I could inform him that Vince Russo, if you're listening to the sound of my voice, if you go to Mount Airy, North Carolina, you can go to a Chick-fil-A and sit down and eat your chicken sandwich.
North Kakalaki.
Mm-hmm. And the manager of this Chick-fil-A informed me that in October, all Chick-fil-A's are going to be open. So there you go, Vince Russo.
Boom, inside knowledge.
Inside knowledge right there. If you would have called in the show, I would have told the man. You want to call him right now?
Flash any butthole to get that info? Or?
No, Jack. See, no. You're always with the butthole, Jack.
No, you were the butthole man here. You were the butthole instigator.
I think you are the butthole man.
You brought up you can rewind
because you said don't show my wiener.
First mention of butthole.
What other thing can you show? You're already on the beach. You're in just shorts. That's what you're in.
If you rewind the show, everyone will find out that butthole came out of Intra's mouth first.
I don't disagree, but you kind of led me into that direction.
I don't know. I think your mind led right to the butthole.
I think your butthole is on your mouth, buddy.
I was thinking the wiener, and you were thinking the butthole.
That's like the new Poffo. That's the new Jackie Jones.
Man, that'd be a lot of limber. That'd be some hard time. I mean, maybe like maybe like RVD. He could do like he could stretch pretty long. All right, Dobbs D. Maya wants to know. If Jackie Jones would bottle his farts, if he sent them to Incher, would Incher inhale them on the show to see if the scent was encased in the bottles?
No.
It's an interesting topic.
No, I would not want to do that. No. That's a hard no, Jack.
No, okay.
No.
Yeah. Remember that time a fan tried to rush Bret Hart in the Hall of Fame? That was funny, wasn't it? No.
No, it wasn't. Now, somebody tried to rush MJF at the last AEW show.
Yeah, that was funnier because they just pulled him down and started beating his ass. They should have really beat his ass, but
like I think Jericho even went over to get a shot in. So he's clearly safe where he's at. I mean, does he really have to go over to punch the man?
Yeah, I think he deserves it. Then he tried to blame. Look, I'm not a big fan. I used to love Jim Cornette as a manager and stuff, but I'm not a big fan of him currently. But like the people trying to blame Cornette for this, that's just stupid. The guy said on Twitter that he did it for Jim Cornette and fans like him.
Oh, for the love of Cornette. Like he's like the lady on the Yeoman. He's like, this is for Cornette.
Exactly.
Dude, come on now. You don't have to like appease a wrestling manager. It's like, how sad is that? I mean, come on. You got better things to do with your life than To make Jim Cornette happy?
Yeah, that's pretty whacked.
And like, why would he attack MJF? Is MJF feuding with Cornette?
No, I think it's one of Cornette's friends.
Yeah, no, I think he's really big on MJF. But Jericho.
Anyway, Dobbs says he still wakes up in the middle of the night remembering that fondly. That's crazy. That's some whack stuff there, Dobbs. I mean, this was a beloved hero, Bret Hart, who a stroke victim, and he's like in his 60s, and you're getting pleasure out of a man running in during his Hall of Fame speech, his moment in his last hurrah in the sun.
Probably one of the only good parts about that Hall of Fame was Bret Hart's speech. You know,
Dobbs just wants to like hate.
What's the matter with Dobbs? He just wanted me to smell farts on the last question. He's a weird guy.
He said inhale it.
Yeah, inhale. I did not inhale.
What could you smell? I wonder if you inhale. I also think like, I guess I was thinking like taste too. I don't know.
Would I have to clear the palate and everything for the next one? Just to get the actual essence?
Maybe. Do you think you could tell what I ate? Like based off the.
I'd just be like, oh, he ate some leaves or something. He ate some. He ate some. What was that you sent me the other day? Chicken parm or something. Like, this is chicken parm.
You never had chicken parm?
No, I'm just saying that's stuff that you sent to me that you've ate. So I'd kind of have an idea of what you've ate.
Oh, I see. I had eggplant parm tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was a big sub at the North End.
Yeah.
Realistically, where do you see AEW in 10 years' time? Hopefully, big time stuff.
I think they'll be still going away, not going away, but going at it. And
Jericho, I don't think. Well, if Jericho's there, maybe as a commentator, but he won't be in the ring anymore.
I kind of sense him wanting to. I don't know. I almost think he's going to jump ship.
Or go back to WWE.
I think he's trying to. I don't know. I think he's trying to say harsh things about the WWE, so they'll bring him back.
I don't think so. It seems like everyone says they have the best time in AEW.
They're trying to do a Selena Vega. They're like, yeah. And then they shut up and come on back. Like, give me that money.
I mean, he's getting paid big money there, though.
True.
Is Jack okay with snitching on friends if they post extreme content? Absolutely not.
Snitching on friends if they post extreme content?
Yeah, absolutely not.
Is this referencing?
I don't know, but I think that's one of the lowest things. Honestly, that's one of those things, especially a friend tattletaling on people. That's low. So no, I do not. I wouldn't do that to anybody. I wouldn't report someone for posting extreme content. Maybe if they were like killing, harming somebody, you report it to like something like that. But otherwise, no. If the only way I would report something, if someone was like actively hurting someone or an animal or something. But
yeah,
other than that, no.
Who asked that question? What?
Dogs.
He's got some weird questions. I don't understand why he's asking any of this.
Man, dogs. I think it's because his Italy beat him in football. Mixed people beat him in the soccer.
Football.
Sabado gigante. Football imas. Football imas. Would you? This is from Stephen Bouteler. The boot. It's all about the boot. Would you cancel your WWE Network subscription and never watch wrestling again if Goldberg defeats Bobby Lashley for the WWE title? And now I personally don't even care if he won. I'm not a big Lashley fan. I think it's the best Lashley's been, but I'm not really a big fan. So
I don't really have to cancel anything because it's like I get it for free.
Oh yeah, that's true too. Good point. I think it would be stupid of them if Goldberg wins the title, but I wouldn't really care. Jonathan Jackson, did Incher get a smile back during the break? I think they think you like left because you were pissed or something, but he was on vacation.
Yeah, I'm fine. No issues. Got my smile back. See?
It'd be cool if we had like a digital effect, like a
The
little
ching.
beam off your tooth.
I heard Diamond Dallas Page said he regretted doing the stalker gimmick. Like he thought it was a dumb idea.
Shit.
It's like I'm glad he finally at least comes out and says it though. I mean, like before he wouldn't even say it. Like glad somebody beat that
He
information.
finally probably figured I'm not going back to WWE.
Yeah. He's like, not getting any more money from them. So fuck it.
Now he's wanting to get away from the yoga altogether. He's like, no, don't call it yoga. It's very weird. You spent like 2 decades building up YRG and DDP yoga, then you want to get rid of the yoga name.
Weird.
Brian Matthew Kluter. In the complete entire history of wrestling, has there ever been a better name than Nikki Ash?
There's been several good names. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan,
Tucker,
The Ultimate Warrior,
Ivar,
Bastion Booger,
the Red Rooster,
Johnny Swinger.
Johnny Swinger.
Yeah.
Jonathan Jackson. Wants to know.
Your fucking neighbors hate you. They're hearing this. Jonathan Jackson.
That's what. It's only 11:30. Is Drum Cornette to blame for the interference run-in on the Cock Network during Money in the Bank? Yes.
Nah.
Yes. I think he buys them on pay-per-view so he can watch them on his TV. I don't think he knows how to watch streaming websites on his TV.
He's got like a young wife. She can't help him with that. She just leaves him out in the dark. She's like, just pay for the fucking pay-per-view. Pay for the pay-per-view, yo, codger. It's like, get you a PlayStation 4 or something, Jim. You can stream it off of that or a Roku or, I mean, come on.
Pretty much all TVs just have it now. My TV just has it right now.
Like, he's on the internet. Like, he's on YouTube and shit. Why can't he figure this shit out? Or have somebody do it for him?
I don't know.
I mean, does everybody who works with him hate him? I mean, nobody's going to come over and show him how to use a fucking Roku or something? I'll come over and show him how to use a fucking Roku.
Jason Minton doesn't live far from him.
Jason Minton, go show him how to use a fucking Roku. Or whatever. Amazon Prime or some shit. I mean, somebody help him out. Oh, that's why you need grandsons. So you can be like, my grandson came over and showed me how to use
I think you would need a
Roku.
son first or a daughter.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't just go from, single to, barren, no kids to now you get grandkids.
So Jim Cornette, it's your own fucking fault. When you get on and you have to order the pay-per-view like an old codger because you don't know how to use a Roku, it's because you didn't have kids.
Could you adopt someone as your grandkid instead of your own child?
I don't know. I don't think that's ever been done, but
Tyler's
adopt Vic as my grandkid.
Whoa.
Be like, this is my grandson right here.
That'd be pretty sweet.
He's got a hook.
Thanks, Gramps.
I want to adopt Intra just so you can call me daddy.
I don't want that. Can I disagree and not be adopted by you?
Who's your daddy?
No, not you.
This
isn't true. That's impossible.
How did Incher get his groove back? And
What's
can you
the
tell
deal?
us the time when you lost your mojo? I don't
What?
know why everyone thinks like you're just like, I don't know. I think you've been in pretty good mood for a while now.
Okay. Let's get my groove back.
Where were we? Jonathan Jackson wants to know. What was your biggest letdown from Money in the Bank, and why is it Tamina not winning the briefcase? She's fucking shit.
I think you would be more disappointed if Tamina won it, wouldn't you? And Nikki Ash. That's
half the people in that match. I'd probably be just like, what the fuck?
Naomi. She's
I'm not a
a
real big fan of Naomi, but she's a lot better than either of them. I don't hate her enough. I just don't really care one way or the other about her, but she can flips. Lexar wants to know, Nick Gage is going to wrestle Zack Ryder this Saturday night in a show in Atlantic City. Are you intrigued?
No. Zack Ryder versus Nick Gage.
Nope.
I thought he was in the crowd at like one of the AEW shows. There's like some dude who's looking a lot like Nick Gage, but I don't think it was.
Would not care less.
Yeah.
Zach also said that he wants to wrestle Alberto Del Rio. What? That's a really good name to throw out there.
Yeah. I don't think you really want to do anything with Alberto right now. So.
Like, I want to wrestle him, and then I want to wrestle like Rock and Roll Buck Zumhoff.
Bring him out of retirement. That'd be good times.
You can get Bill Cosby as the special ref.
Well, you see, when you want to go out and beat this Alberto character, you got to get you a Jello pudding pop and eat it.
Maybe they could do something with the guy used to stick the
Cosby face.
He's pretty good. Jonathan Jackson, we did that one. Dobbs, why would Lexar stop Lexaring when Cena is telling him to never give up? I say rise up.
He stopped thinking about tomorrow is what it is. He stopped.
I say, Lexar, you got to get over this bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Stop being a pussy. Get on the show and man up.
Mm-hmm. We'll only ask you about it a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little. Just a little bit. No, we ain't going to ask you a whole lot about it.
Lexar.
Right, Vic? We're not going to ask him a lot about it.
I can't imagine Vic asking him about it.
I mean, it's getting to the point, who cares, you know?
Yeah, we've all seen penises.
Mm-hmm.
We all have a penis here. I assume. Who gives a shit?
You've got candy ones. I saw that post.
Exactly. Little candy penises. They were kind of stale, so I threw them away, unfortunately. They were a good one. I ate some before. Lexar, where does Jack get his outfits from? It depends. Sometimes eBay. Sometimes a lot of my newer jackets my mom got me. I'm not sure where she gets them. This shirt I got in Boston yesterday.
That's a great shirt. That's a great shirt. And true Italians do like pineapple on pizza.
Exactly. You can't go wrong with it. See, Incher, listen to a couple Italians here. Try it out. You'll like it.
Pineapple on my pie is the best.
Right. I know you're probably thinking you're going to put some potatoes on there and cabbage. It's only pineapple.
That could be a new thing, you know.
I have actually had potato. I don't really think it's very good potato one. Because I think you have two starches and you got the crust and the potato. They're two kind of bland. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like crust on a crust. You know what I'm saying?
Crust.
There's a place near here. They used to make something called a baked potato pizza. That was really good.
I actually had a pumpkin pizza once, and I almost didn't. I was just like, I gotta try it. It was very good. I listened to an old episode of In Your Head over the weekend, and Jack said The news of Austin Aries rubbing his crotch to Christy Hemi's face. Jack sees nothing wrong with it because he thinks Austin's just being heel. Meanwhile, the internet is pissed. Which is worse, Lexaring women at shows or rubbing your crotch at a female's face while you're standing in the corner of the ring? The Lexaring, because you don't know the person.
Yeah, but I don't know. I thought Austin Aries probably shouldn't have done that at the time. Well, he shouldn't have done it at the time.
I say do it.
Yeah, but I mean, that's like going into business for yourself.
Part of the show. Yeah, but that's when wrestling's at its
Because you're
best.
part of the show, you don't just get to rub your crotch in people's face. I mean, come on.
Say, yeah. How do you think the Bronco Buster and the Stink Face happened? So they just did it at first. Then it became
that guy's a weirdo anyhow.
He is a weirdo.
He's a weirdo.
For some reason, everyone always says like he'll never take pictures or anything with people, but he took pictures of Troy and I when we met.
He was just in a good mood that day.
He's like, this guy knows what's up.
He lucked out.
Also on that same episode, Jack exposed Songman for having more than 600 images of women he don't know on his Facebook page. Is this a cause for concern? Nah, Songman's a good man. I like the Songman. He ain't showing his wiener to anybody as far as I know. Oh, I did not know this. It is Lexar's birthday tomorrow. Can Vic bring out the birthday bear? This is from Lexar.
Give me 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
He also wants to know, a couple weeks ago when Stephen Butler reviewed RoboCop, did he get the urge to watch WCW Capital Combat 1990?
I do have the network. Maybe I'll rewatch it. I remember way back watching WCW at that time, and I was a big RoboCop fan, and I thought, obviously, I enjoyed that, but it was dumb because it was like they have this guy in a RoboCop outfit, and all he does is get Sting out of a cage.
Yeah,
that's it. Like, what a big waste. It was disappointing.
He should have came in like killed the Horseman or something.
Yeah. He should have gone in the ring.
Is that official RoboCop canon? His appearance at Capital Combat?
They should have had a run in from the big ass robot with the gun turrets. Having come in, that would have been awesome.
This is for you, Lexar.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Lexar.
Hey, Vic, can you buy that off of Amazon or something? Or is that, how do you get a birthday bear?
I don't even remember where we've got this. We've had it probably for 20 years. So.
Oh, wow.
I love it. That's all.
To break it out for all the kids' birthdays.
I love it. Well, thank you. And happy birthday, Lexar. Your birthday, you're another year older. Now it's time to man up. Get back on it.
It's almost his birthday in 10 minutes.
Exactly. Jonathan Jackson. Jack, if a fan was trying to jump the barricade near you at the AEW shows, would you try to stop them? Nah.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're kind of getting yourself involved in something that you shouldn't be involved in.
What's Roberts there? He'll be there. He'll just take him down.
Mm-hmm. Let the security handle it.
Justin Roberts took that fat ass down.
Justin Roberts, really?
Mm-hmm.
Is there footage of it on the internet?
Yeah, it was footage on the internet. You could even see it on the show.
Justin Roberts.
When you feel, wouldn't that make you feel worse? You were like beaten down by Justin Roberts.
Yeah,
if he started choking him with his tie.
I mean, like, you never know how tough somebody is just by looking at them, but it's like, like Joey Styles beating up JBL. You never would have figured that would happen.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's something to think about when you're always saying you could pound all this ass, ain't you?
Well, I did say that I'd never underestimate anybody, but
who would be the most embarrassing wrestler if that would just pound your ass?
This is a loaded question.
I mean, in a fight, not like, start like sodomizing.
Who would be the most embarrassing? Probably Michael Hayes. If he beat me up, I'd be pretty embarrassed.
Pretty big man.
Beat me up. He is a big man, but just to go along with everything that I've said on the show.
I think that would be a fun one to see, though. Like if he wouldn't like, not if he would not like hurt you, but like just kind of humiliate you a little bit. That'd be funny.
Well, you're for that for anybody. Humiliating me.
When you see the comedy in that, you say all this stuff about him, and then he just kind of
like that would be the worst part for me is whenever I'm being humiliated, I'd look over and there's Jack with popcorn just watching. I'm like, that son of a bitch. I know he's enjoying this. The only thing that would make it better if Luke Gallows came out with the dangly and he just started like dangling it around and beating you up. That would be pretty awesome.
Who?
Luke Gallows with the dangly on his ear and he was beating you up. He's just shaking his head while he's doing it. That would be awesome.
Then I just assume.
You're so happy. Jeez.
Have you seen any of Brian Cage's other 3 FTW title defenses, or did AEW make that up? It's probably on Dark. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't recall any of them.
That belt, I like AEW, but that shouldn't be a real belt that's ever defended. Shouldn't even be there. I'm not a fan of it. Tyler Stevens, do you think ZZ would come on the show and answer the age-old question of who he has the love for? Well, maybe we could get him to come back on his return, the long-awaited return. It's kind of a lackluster first appearance. He hasn't been on since we moved to Zoom.
True.
Got the love for ZZ. Does he have the same for OIB?
Afraid he doesn't. Don't think he does.
Dobbs Dean Maya. I have some dumbass questions to ask Incher. If you'd be so kind to answer them honestly.
Hasn't he had a series of questions already? I think he has.
Do you think having sex with MJF's mother is a pleasurable experience?
I'm sure she's a looker. Sure. Yeah.
What are some of the great things about being the only gay man in WV?
He's asking me that I'm the only gay man in WV? Yeah. Oh, I know several. We have good times.
Yeah, down at the bathhouse together.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever made mad, passionate love on your pinball machines with any of your significant others?
Have I ever? No. I mean, like, I'm kind of a short guy, so there's like, there'd be easier places to make love than the pinball machine.
Do you prefer length, girth, or the pushing it?
What?
Tyler Steven wants to know, when Incher went to the beach, was he hanging 10 or hanging and banging?
I was I'm hanging 10, I guess. I don't know.
Jonathan Jackson wants to know, would you spit on a kid to save your co-host's life? I mean, I don't believe in spitting on anyone, but if it was to save someone's life, I think that's a better trade.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sorry, kid.
Jonathan Jackson, do you think Nick Gage would be a better fit for WWE or AEW? I think a star of that magnitude could just make it anywhere. Mm-hmm. How high are you for Jackson Riker? Apparently, WWE is really big on him and wants to push him to the moon.
Well, he deserves it. That's a former guest here on In Your Head.
True. He's been there for years and's done shit. But now they're just like, let's do something. Seems kind of weird.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, it's strange.
How does this happen? Do they just like not even notice him? And then one day someone's just walking down the hall and like, holy shit, this guy's employed here. Have I approached Nikhil Callahan territory? Well, you send us some money, so you deserve it. JJ also thinks the bear is creepy. I like it.
That bear is creepy as hell, Jonathan Jackson says in the chat room.
Dobbs says, be honest, Vic, you popped when Italy went over playing England. I did. That's pretty cool.
I hated the way it ended. I hate how you play for a month and it comes down to penalty kicks. I've always hated that. So I wouldn't have cheered for either team.
But I just like to see people cry.
I mean, in hockey, they play until there's a winner. None of this penalty kick stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
how does Jack feel about his people disowning him for pizza and pineapple combo fetish? No, we're into it. Only jerks don't like it, I say. Bunch of jerks.
So is a Hawaiian pizza just pineapple? Is that
pineapple and ham? I don't think you need the ham for me. I actually like pineapple.
The ham sounds good.
Yeah, that's what most people do. Do it up. It brings out you need a little bit of the saltiness with the sweet. Did Cena learn Mandarin during his studies in thugonomics?
No, he's been studying it for a while. So,
would you rather acknowledge the tribal chief?
Like he knows a language and he doesn't even know like one of the biggest cities isn't like a country? Like, how does that work?
It's more into. I mean, it's recognized as a country to some people, but it was more of a political thing. But you do think if he was studying so much, he would have. No, I don't know. It was just It was fine what he said, but
it's a country to everybody.
Right.
It's a country to everybody but China.
His apology was to appease the politicians of China.
I thought he should never give up on his convictions.
He's just a fake schmuck. I mean,
I know.
Would you rather acknowledge the tribal chief or praise the Almighty by being sodomized by the one?
What?
People love the sodomy here.
Who's sodomized? What?
We're either going to be sodomized by Lashley or Roman Reigns.
Oh. That's an interesting question.
Maybe that'll be the next round table.
Mm-hmm.
The round table of sodomy.
Well, on that joyous note, I guess I'll tap out.
All right. Yeah, he cannot.
I was just going to say the same too.
Good night.
Have a good night, guys.
They must have dentist appointments in the morning.
He couldn't handle the sodomy.
Handle it. Vic, he's got staying power.
Who do you think got Bailey pregnant?
Well, I'm in the central.
Bailey's pregnant?
No, she's hurt. Yeah, she's hurt. But the joke is she'll be out 9 months.
Oh.
But if she was pregnant, I would say it was Intra's boy, Michael Hayes.
Oh, that'd be that. Oh, God. I think I couldn't do the show anymore if that was the case. Like Michael
What if
Hayes
it came out he,
impregnated.
like fathered like a dozen children of WWE's like women's division?
Oh God. Like you go to like a convention and all these people standing around looking like Michael Hayes, and then you find out why.
They're all moonwalking and wearing like orange like tuxedos.
Yeah. Rebel flags painted on their face.
Rule. Oh man. If Intra got a DUI, which tag titles would you challenge for as punishment?
Yeah, probably the women's belt. Me and Jack would beat those women.
Hell yeah.
Be the first male women's champion.
We could just identify as women. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
John Barker, I missed you, Jack and Incher.
Thank you.
Will Incher play air guitar on Jack's grave when he dies? Jesus Christ.
Why am I dying before you? You're older.
He said, will you play air guitar in my grave?
I misheard.
Now you're all happy.
Yeah. Now I'm like, ooh.
I could see me doing that on Incher's grave. Before Incher would do that on my grave. And I'm not saying I would do it, but I think if one of us would do it, it'd probably be more my thing. But I'd do it out of love.
Oh my goodness.
What?
I use that all the time. I do it out of love.
Yeah, you'd probably find it funny.
If somebody stopped you and was like, you really shouldn't do that, and he'd find it funny.
I in all honesty, I wouldn't do that. If I've got to be serious and not be joking.
You'd be at my funeral. Is he in the ground yet? Come on, hurry this thing up.
At the funeral, everybody stands up giving eulogies, and I just
jump on the coffin.
I start doing Man Called Sting.
Hey, how about that Darby Allin coffin drop match?
That was pretty awesome.
I like the coffin match. That was pretty cool.
Too.
Good stuff.
Yeah, Darby Allin. I've been a fan of his for a while, but I really think he's one of the best all-around guys in the company. Big star for him.
Yeah, I liked Ethan Page in it too. I thought
he's really grown on me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know who he was to begin with, but he's grown on me. I like him.
Yeah, that was a cool spot where he did the coffin drop through the coffin.
Oh yeah, that match was crazy.
Mm-hmm. Tomorrow is going to be the second night
of Fighter
Fest. Looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it as well.
I think John Moxley is going to take on Lance Archer, the Killer Hawk.
That'll be good.
Oh, you got Britt Baker taking on Nyla Rose as well. Well, she's the champion. So Nyla Rose is going to be taking on Britt Baker.
Britt Baker's action figure looks really bad, unfortunately.
What's so bad about it?
Doesn't look anything like her, and the legs are like giant.
Really?
Yeah, it looks really bad. And their figures normally look really good.
Yeah, that sucks. Jeez. I wonder why they screwed up so bad on it.
I don't know.
Curious to see it. If you're looking it up right now.
Trying to find it.
I need to see. I need to know. Oh, I like Vic's shirt there. He's got an IYH shirt. There you go. IYH for life. The blue one. Blue World Order.
Blue World Order. Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Or the Blue World Order shirt tonight.
Whoa. That is bad.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ. Oh, talk about a stinker. Oh. What a bad character.
Doesn't look anything like her in the face. And then the legs are like twice as long as her body. It's just they're bad.
Do you think they were working on a Christian Cage character and then they heard her bitching about it, so they decided to turn it into a Britt Baker character?
I don't know, because I belong to a lot of figure groups, and everyone was saying how bad it looks, and I agree.
Bad. Oh, that was bad.
Yeah. And normally, honestly, most of their figures are great. They have some old, you know how the old LJN guys with the bigger, the rubber guys?
Yeah.
They're doing those. That's pretty fun, I think.
Yowza. What a shit character. What happened there?
I don't know.
Did they get somebody to sculpt it that's never sculpted before? I mean, like...
Jonathan Barker. Can I get a shout out? Can I get a shout out to my boy, the MVP of the Headyverse, the man, Al Ulb?
You know, Jack, some people would say that I don't respond to things, but I do respond to a lot of things. And as messed up as a thing as I ever done, as messed up things that Al Ulb's ever done to me, I think the most messed up one is not responding to my messages, because I even respond to Al Ulb when he sends me messages.
Really?
And he never responds to my messages whenever I'm trying to conversate with the man.
Really?
So I mean, they're right here. It's like, yeah, he just doesn't respond.
Was it something nice?
He was actually kind of ratting you out a little bit.
Really?
Yeah. He was saying you left out that about you with the killer knife and all that. He was saying that you conveniently left out that you knew what the situation was.
What?
Do you want to see the text? Here, I'll show you the text. I'll show you. This is your boy right here, Jack. It's your boy. That's your boy, Jack. And see, look, when you're done reading.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was supposed to be funny.
Yeah, see? And then I responded. No response.
See, now that's what I was talking about, the tattletale. See, that was the whole fun of the thing, was we were both sent you like, crazy stuff at the same time. But if one tells, and it's not funny anymore. Just being a little bitch.
He's tattling on you, Jack. That's your boy.
Total F of the week. And I don't mean friend.
Maybe if you would have responded to me, I wouldn't have told on you. See,
I know that's how he is, though.
You hurt my feelings when you don't respond.
Things. Yeah, he's a big tattletale.
He is a tattletale.
He is
big tattletale.
How happy is Jack now that the Good Brothers got their danglies back? Fuck those fuckers. Nikhil Callahan.
Oh, my Lord. I said I can't go all night.
We'll run through them.
I really don't want to answer, like, what's my favorite relic match. I don't want
to. Jack, your favorite memories of the food court in Kingston Mall.
What?
Well,
he's asking you your favorite memories of a food court?
When I was a teenager, the Kingston Mall was the coolest mall to hang out at. And I just found out the other day that first of all, the mall's been dead for a while, but I just found out that they closed the whole food court at the Kingston Mall because no one goes there anymore.
Now, why is this question relevant? I mean, is there a fucking documentary like that crazy park in New Jersey or something?
No.
Why is this relevant? Did they shoot a movie there?
No, it was used to be a cool hangout for when I was in my teens and 20s.
So somebody halfway across the fucking world's asking you about your hangout at the food court at the mall?
Yeah, you don't think that's I mean, I'm a big time celebrity. People are interested. Could I have Intra's favorite memories and matches with Ted DiBiase Jr.?
Could I? Didn't he used to come out with Maurice? Didn't he do that? I think. And then I kind of liked his song that he had. I thought it was a good compliment to his father's song. I never thought it would overtake his father's song, but it's been construed on the show that that's my feeling.
I think at the time you're saying it was the greatest theme song in the history of wrestling. And you were saying it's like something you could listen to on the radio. jam out to?
Priceless.
I'm gonna go back. I remember you were like throwing babies in the air.
Well, just have your little stooge go back, a little snitchy. Have a little snitch go back and look it up for you. He probably knows off his Rolodex on top of his head.
He also wants to know
That non-replying son of a bitch.
Your favorite memory of Manu.
When he came out and said, "I'm Manu," I like that part.
And your favorite match of Sim Snuka.
That's the dude from
they were like the greaser guys from the 50s.
The hell was there? They weren't called the Greasers though.
No, they weren't. That would be awesome if they were just the Greasers.
What was their name?
They called Deuce and Domino. They didn't have a tag name. They're just called Deuce and Domino.
And then Cherry was their.
She died, didn't she?
Did she?
I think so. I could be wrong.
That's a shame. Damn.
I remember Buck was a big fan of the group, honestly.
I always liked that they said that they were from the other side of the tracks. I always thought that was funny.
I thought it was fucking shit.
You loved it. You loved it the most.
Thoughts on Karrion Kross not losing in NXT, but losing to Jeff Hardy on Raw. So he was undefeated. This is just terrible. This is just mind-bogglingly bad booking.
I maintain. I think Jeff probably pinned him. Not fucking jobbing tonight, man.
It looks like every TNT holder will have their own customized belt. I think it's a great idea. How about you? I'm fine with it.
Wait a minute. Well, Yurish Tosh, he's saying my local Pennsylvania mall also closed the food court in the last few years. Malls are dying.
Yeah.
I will say I've been in malls recently and they are pretty dead, a lot of them.
The Cape Cod Mall is jamming, but for some reason people come from all over the state, all over New England to go there. I'm not sure why. I mean, it's got the same things you find anywhere, but for some reason it's always packed. But every other mall there's one, I forget, Swansea Mall used to be really big. It's completely closed.
Jonathan Jackson says Cherry is still alive.
Oh.
Thank goodness.
Oh, it's good.
She's just retired.
All right. Dead to me.
Jeez, Jack. So hateful.
Thoughts on AEW selling out the New York show very quickly? That's pretty awesome. I'm happy.
I mean, it's a product that I enjoy and I can get behind it. So I'm glad when they do well.
Exactly. Why does Chris Jericho get so much abuse online? Yet when he was in WWE, no one said anything to him. I think honestly, a lot of it's the Cornette stuff, and then there's a lot of what I call the Cornette puppets who will just, no matter what he says, will just repeat it verbatim. They'll use the same exact catchphrase and stuff.
He wields a lot of power on the internet, but he doesn't even know how to use a fucking Roku.
Breaking news from Lexar, who needs to man up, but it is his birthday today. Daniel Bryan is no longer in talks with WWE. Looks like he may be going to AEW.
I think it'd be great if he did go to AEW. Because
I agree. It'd be dream match, lots of dream matches.
Mm-hmm. That's like, good Lord. I mean, what else could he do in WWE? They're just going to keep him mid-card status. They're not going to let him be anything.
Unless he does something where like they're forced. Every time he's gotten the big push, it's like when they're forced to.
Yeah.
The Dark Order are now in the hottest feud in AEW against the Elite. What's your thoughts on this and the elimination match coming up? I really wouldn't call it the hottest. I really like Adam Page.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't really fit with the Dark Order.
Yeah, I don't like the pairing. I also think the Dark Order needs like a legit.
I think the Dark Order, their new leader, could be Black. What's his name? Messias Black, or what's his name? I can't think.
Malachi. But yeah, he could
Malachi Black.
I would just have Uno do it. I don't know how I feel about him being the comedy group. I don't know.
Or bring back Judas Messias. And have Don West scream Judas Messias over and over and over.
Andrade is looking for the Death Triangle. Is it to feud with them or become a new stable. I assumed a feud with him. I don't know.
Can they get the translator guy to just speak for him? I mean, I respect that the man's trying to learn English, but if you gotta have like subtitles on his promos, I mean,
I think it would be cool to have the translator anyway. He could just stand there.
yeah, I think he does a pretty good job for Penta El Cerro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Vicky, but I don't think it's a good pairing. I've give it a shot, but I don't think they really mesh well.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Finn Balor being back on SmackDown? Well, I didn't know that, but that's cool.
Yeah, he did come out on SmackDown, and yeah.
Harry Smith was on a SmackDown Dark match. Are you happy to see him back? Yeah, I saw that because I'm friends with him on Facebook. I don't know if it's going to be anything besides a dark match or if it was just a tryout or what, but when I seen him live, he was great. So I'd like to see him go somewhere.
Yeah, be good for him to get another shot in WWE. Seems like a perfect fit. I mean,
yeah, he's got the lineage and everything. He's a big guy. AEW card at the moment predictions. Chris Jericho versus Sean Spears. Obviously Jericho's going to win, but that should be good. Kazarian versus Dark Gallows. Kazarian, I hope wins. I fucking hate
Kazarian, really, Jack. Kazarian.
Yeah, I'm not a huge
the Elite Hunter.
I don't like the Elite Hunter gimmick, but
is Joey Janela anywhere on this card?
Yeah, he's in the main event, but it's not.
You lie.
Orange Cassidy versus Blade. This will be good.
I'm liking what they're doing with Blade. I'm glad they're giving him a shot, trying to break him out into something else. Did the other guy quit or something? Where's the other guy recently?
I think he's hurt.
He's hurt?
Okay. I want Orange to win, but this will be good.
Yeah.
Moxley versus Archer in a death match. That'll be good too. I'm a Moxley fan, but I like both guys. Though. Kenny Omega will defend his TNA title against Kurt Hawkins at the next pay-per-view. Are you pumped? And who's winning? Nope. I will hope Kenny Omega doesn't lose to Kurt Hawkins.
Yeah, I would hope. I mean, he is the most professional wrestler. But geez, I'm only 3 shows behind, and he's already feuding with Kurt Hawkins.
Yeah,
man.
If it's an option, should AEW sign Daniel Bryan? Yes, absolutely. If they have a chance, to me that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, you got to have Daniel Bryan. I mean, and I think that's somebody who would, really benefit the company.
I think anyone who argues against that one's just not like being truthful or you're being like kind of silly,
I think he would be a huge star for him.
Yeah, I don't see any negative. Like he's a huge star. He's gonna have great matches with all the guys there.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna bring attention. To me, there's just so many benefits if you would bring him in. To me, if you could get anybody, it'd be like him or Punk.
Yeah, I don't think Punk's ever doing it.
I don't think so either. But if you had the choice of anyone around, I think it'd probably be those two guys. Daniel
Bryan seems like a no-brainer. So,
are you excited for the return of Becky Lynch?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it'll be good for the company. It's not.
I can't deny the fans are pumped up for it, but it really does nothing for me. Like, I'm not a very big fan.
Yeah, I don't really care either. For me to say it's not a big deal, it would be a lie. And I think it was good for her, honestly, to take this time off when there's no crowd, and you come back with the crowd, you're going to get like this huge reaction.
Her coming up was pretty compelling TV, but once she got there, it just changed for me. She just got real cocky.
I think the benefit, there's more people for her to work with right now.
Yeah.
When she won the title, remember they put her in a feud with Lacey Evans and stuff.
Yeah.
But there's more people she could work with that are talented now.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts on the latest draft moves? I didn't even know there was a draft. Mandy Rose was drafted to NXT. That's a terrible fit. Like, you can move people to NXT, but you'd want to move people that are really just known as good workers.
Mm-hmm.
Mandy Rose is not a good fit for NXT.
No.
I'm surprised. I don't know how they missed the boat on Mandy Rose, because she's really hot and she's actually talented. So I don't know how WWE didn't make a big star out of her.
I mean, that Otis stuff was really good. So it's like you take Eva Marie, and it's like you could have had Mandy Rose in that spot, and she would have been a lot better. And it's like, why'd they even bring back Eva Marie?
Aliyah, who's Aliyah? Aliyh. I don't even know who that is.
Aaliyah?
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
That's I think she's like with Robert Stone's brand or whatever. I think that's the girl that's with him. That's the only way I know how to explain.
Robert Stone.
No, the dude who was Robbie E in Impact. So what isn't his name WWE? Robert Stone in NXT?
Well, I didn't even know he was in WWE. I didn't know he was even there.
Yeah, that's formerly Robbie E. He's the Robert Stone brand or whatever, I think. Yeah.
Well, she's on Raw.
Okay.
And Naomi went to SmackDown.
Yeah, makes
back
sense.
with her. Maybe they think he'll keep him sober.
We gotta get somebody to keep this guy sober. It's possible.
Thoughts on Aiden English and No Way Jose debuting for TNA? Wow, I saw about No Way Jose. I don't really have one thought one way or other about him, but Aiden English, I really like.
They also got Morrissey, W. Morrissey, Big Cass. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's Big
I
Cass.
like to see him do well. Never really a big fan of him personally, but he's gotten into shape, and I like to see a redemption story. Maybe see him, do well.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Thoughts on Jay White making an appearance at the last Impact pay-per-view? Yeah, that's pretty shocking. I think that's one of the last big names not in WWE, not in American wrestling TV. So I would have thought he would have went to AEW or NXT, but
well, it seems like he's probably still with New Japan, but they have a working relationship with Impact, and for some reason, New Japan, I mean, they'll let them have a few people, but they don't seem to really want to be that chummy with them.
Yeah.
It seems like.
Yeah, they started to a little bit, but then they kind of stopped there from it.
I think there's something that we're not being told with that whole situation. They're mad about something.
Favorite scenes in Goodfellas? I always love the whole movie. It's probably my favorite movie
I like when they're going around and explaining the whole like how they cooked the meal in prison, and then
it's good. Yeah,
the ending, and there's just a lot of great scenes in that movie.
Favorite memories of Terminator 2?
And I think I said it on the show before, like whenever he's explaining like Mira Sorvino's dad, what's his name? Paul Sorvino. Mm-hmm. Is that his name? When he's like, he has his scene where he's talking to the restaurant owner, and he's like looking right through the guy, just like he doesn't matter. Like I loved his acting on that. So
yeah, he's great in it.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's so good in that. Favorite memories of Terminator 2?
Favorite memories of Terminator 2. I went to the drive-in to see Terminator 2. That was my first time I've seen it, and it was a good movie to see at the drive-in. So. Didn't see the first part of it, so I had to wait till it come out on home video before I watched the full movie. But like the very first part of it, like I think we tuned in when the kid was going to the mall and all that. John Connor was going to the mall with his buddy from Salute Your Shorts. Remember that show, Salute Your Shorts?
I don't know. I mean, it was a good movie. What was your first music gig you went to?
First music event?
Mine was a Barnstable County Fair, and it was to see Chubby Checker. And my memory played the twist over and over. But
now that you say that, I think I did go to the regatta to see Chubby Checker.
Really?
That's probably the earliest thing that I could remember, and I don't think I even seen the show. Like I think I heard him playing, but I don't think I seen it. But I do remember.
What's interesting at the Barnstable County Fair this year, they didn't have it last year, but it's back this year. The Box Masters are playing And that, if people don't know, that is Billy Bob Thornton's band, which I thought was pretty wild that his band's going to be playing there. It's not like a big deal. So.
Jonathan Jackson, he wants me to do my Becky Lynch voice. So I can't remember how I did it. It was something like, "Oh, you want me to do?
Is that
want me to come back or something?" I forget how it goes.
Sounds more like Yoda.
Yeah. Skywalker, yes.
Do you think he's getting sexually excited about that?
Baby Yoda. I don't know. Let's see. How did I do my Becky? Oh, I know I did it like real deep. I can't remember how I did it though. I'd have to go with some tape of myself.
Nikhil's final question is favorite Ted Danson movie. Creep Show.
Saving Private Ryan.
Creep Show. I have it right up here on VHS.
Oh yeah. He's in Saving Private Ryan.
He is?
Yeah. He's one of the his part isn't huge, but he's one of the officers in charge, like, of the kids. And I think he tells them about Private Ryan, like he tells Tom Hanks about Private Ryan, and
tells them about his privates.
And he's like, who wants to see Ted Danson's privates?
Probably a lot of people back in the day.
Jeez, like what Ted Danson movies are there? 3 Minute Baby. Jeez. Like, how obscure of a guy to be like, what's your favorite Ted Danson movie? Like,
I don't think he acknowledges Creep Show.
Yeah. Why wouldn't he though? You know,
I mean, it's a good movie. It's not like, honestly, even if you were in some shit movie, I mean, what the hell?
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
Like, I know, like, Kevin Bacon, he wanted to talk about Friday the 13th, but he finally talked about it recently. And he's like, yeah, it's all right. But Kevin Bacon's been in some shit, though, before he was.
Yeah, he does a lot of horror stuff lately, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Creep Show. I didn't think about Creep Show, though. He is in that. Him and Liam Neeson. Yeah, evil Liam Neeson. He isn't funny in that.
Urias Tosh, do you think Naomi deserves a better man in her life, and maybe Intra could slide on in there?
I'm amazing. I'm amazing.
I'm not saying this to be annoying, but I really think that's one of the worst theme songs ever.
Bring it to the floor. Boom.
That part's all right, but that beginning part when she goes, that's like so bad.
Bring it to the floor.
You should
I'm about to do my slide. Oh,
you ever drop ecstasy when that song plays?
No. Probably be the song to do it on, though, you know.
I've never done ecstasy.
I just knocked over my Jungle Green Nintendo 64 jack.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I remember pissing on it when I was in your room.
Fuck you, bitch.
I was like, I'm going to make this my nude beach.
All right.
I did get nude in your bedroom when you were looking the other way.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't recall that.
Yeah, well, I waited till your head was turned. I dropped trowel, then I pulled them back up.
I don't remember that.
I know you were facing the other way, as I'm saying. Do you have hidden cameras in your room for security? What the hell's that?
It's a joystick.
Why is it so big? It's like a lot of.
My joystick's big, baby.
Seems like a lot of wasted space on it.
It's actually like a console inside of a, like, there's a little USB port. And
what is it
HDMI. You play Neo Geo games on it.
Fuck the Neo Geo.
Yeah, I know. You're upset because the Prince of Saudi Arabia owns a big stock in them now. I didn't know you were aware of that, but
Yeah, you fucking blood money game over there.
He just bought it recently, like a couple months ago. But
is he gonna start bringing back like Hubert and stuff, like he wanted Yokozuna?
he's like, bring back the Cubert. Like, you don't own Cubert.
Like, just make a fake one. Is it true? Your boy Al wants to know: is it true that Jack and Juju are developing a video game called River Titty Ransom?
I don't think so.
I think that's happening.
River Titty Ransom.
Will football ever come home for Dobbs and Nikhil?
It's over.
Maybe.
It's over, Johnny.
Laquan Vanderpool Higgins, are you emotionally erect for John Cena's return?
Yep.
Why does Vince McMahon hate black people?
He's got Martin Luther King hanging in his office.
That's because he thinks he's the modern day Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
Will Thunder Rosa beat Britt Baker for the AEW women's strap? I don't think so.
Nah.
Buck, Mary, Kill, Earl Hebner, Charles Robinson, and Aubrey Edwards. I'll bang Aubrey Edwards, marry Charles Robinson, and kill Earl Hebner.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with that.
What dead wrestlers would you resurrect to job to Roman Reigns?
I'd probably really turn her off when I call her Audrey. She'd be like, that's not my name. I'm like, oh, sorry.
Don't matter. Boom. What dead wrestler would you resurrect to job to Roman Reigns? Yokozuna.
Probably Gorgeous George.
Oh, damn.
Bring out some old names.
So Dave Meltzer tweeted best wishes to Brian Blair, who's undergoing major surgery tomorrow. Al wants to know, do you think this was Iron Sheik related?
Hopefully not.
That would suck to break your back, but especially break your back through sodomy.
What if they brought back Bruno to job to Roman Reigns? That would be a pretty big one.
Do you think when they perfect cult cloning, or when they perfect they could probably do like motion capture and have they get wrestlers come back.
They need to forget about all this cloning stuff and just start working on beaming people up. I mean, wouldn't that be a lot better? Like, you want to go to WrestleMania, they just beam you down there, you know?
I think teleportation is the jam.
Yeah, that's what they need to work on. Forget about cloning. I mean, why would there need to be two of me? I mean,
what if you had two of you and you could play yourself in pinball and stuff?
That'd be like the never-ending pinball match.
You could send your clone to answer all Nikhil's questions.
My clone would fucking hate me. He'd be like, no, I'm not going. Oh, yes, you have to go. No. That's like a movie in itself. Me sending my clone to answer Nikhil's questions.
Yeah. And ask the question, is the clone a person?
It'd probably just end up like just a big throwdown,
Who do you think would win in a fight, you or your clone?
I don't know. That'd be tough.
Is it true that Sal McGee wants you guys to undergo anti-racist therapy? I mean, neither of us are racist.
I know Al likes to project that I'm racist, but he's just a weirdo.
Thoughts on Chaotic Wrestling New England announced that the women's championship will now be called Pan Optic Championship. The championship will be genderless and non-binary without exclusion. Why wouldn't that just be when you just had that? If you were going to do that, wouldn't that just be your championship? Why would you?
Just one championship.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Because why would you have the men's championship and then this one? It doesn't make any sense. Will Jack watch Impact now that the Good Brothers are tag champs and No Way Jose is debuted as No Way? No.
He's just No Way now? He can't even be No Way Jose?
No.
No Way.
Couldn't they come up with another name? No Way Rose or something?
Oh, yeah. Like No Way, No Way something. I don't know. No Way.
Romano. Doesn't rhyme.
There's no other No Way, is there?
Is this really something you needed to keep anyway?
Yeah, really. It's a shit gimmick to begin with.
Like, maybe he could have took this time to reinvent himself instead
Cut
of a
the hair.
gimmick.
Yeah, that's a shit gimmick, bub.
I mean, it's kind of why he had no shelf life, because it's like you saw it a couple times, it's funny, and then that's it.
And then you're like, this is a ripoff of Adam Rose.
Yeah, and that sucked.
And that wasn't very good either. No Way Jose.
All right. I think that's it.
Is that it? Vic, we made it.
Just wish I'd love to see it.
Thank goodness.
So we wish Lexar happy birthday. We hope this is a year he can man up and get back to In Your Head. I
Happy
know
birthday,
Geraldine
Lexar.
wants you back.
Mm-hmm.
She volunteered to send nude pics of herself
She did.
to me if you come back.
Well, how good is that to Lexar?
Well, you'll just be happy knowing. I just made that up, actually.
Yeah,
We did the bear, so he owes us. So
that's true. It's true.
Go away, Jose. Maybe when Lexar you come back, you can dance like No Jose. This is your time, Lexar. Reinvent yourself. Come back with a new gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
We've all seen your penis. No one cares.
I haven't. I never looked at it.
Yeah,
See,
but
Vic
you
hasn't
can't-
either.
You can't see penises.
we could come back under a mask.
Exactly.
Then he wouldn't be
Mask on your
embarrassed.
penis. Yeah.
That's true. You could use
You think that would sell if you made like dick masks, like little luchador masks that you could put over your penis head?
It would be funny if he came back with a mask and that huge CBS signs behind him. Like, who is this mask man?
I love it.
He's got a T-shirt on and just, yeah.
What's OFC? Is that like
OFC.
KFC? Ontario Fried Chicken? I don't know. But anyway, thank you, Jonathan Jackson. You're a good man. Send in the pesos. The rest of
Appreciate it.
you bitches got to start paying up. Sending us the cash over.
Oh. Send the cash. I can't think of it. I can't do it. I can't remember how I did.
Fucking bitch. Big thanks to Jameson coming on
Oh,
the show.
definitely.
That was like 4 hours ago. Apology to anyone who tuned in for Jameson and watched the rest of the show.
I think we were on fire tonight. I apologize.
Yeah, I mean, we covered all the wrestling.
Exactly.
From wrestling, covered a lot of buttholes. What if I started introducing you as the butthole of In Your Head?
I'll cover your butthole with my semen. I feel dirty after I just said that. I apologize. I shouldn't have done that.
Is that a dream of yours?
You're dreaming of killing people. That's what I'm dreaming of. You're like, I'm a murderer now, ain't you?
It's kind of cool. But if you dreamt of having sexual intercourse with me, would you feel ashamed?
Yeah, I probably would. Yeah. I wouldn't tell anybody that. No. Nobody would. know.
So now we don't know if you have it or not.
See? I'm keeping it quiet.
God damn, that means he has, Vic, because you wouldn't say that unless you do it. I've had this hat for a long time.
Yeah. Kind of like The hat that that bear wears. The one bear.
Big hairy gay guy.
No.
Like
But that applies to what's that bear that's in the books, the funny books? The
Yogi the Bear?
it's like a kid's book. I can't think.
Oh yeah, Yogi the Bear for adults.
No, not Yogi Bear's hat doesn't look like that, does it?
I don't think does he wear a hat? I don't know.
I think he has like a little hat, don't he?
Pooh Bear? He doesn't wear a hat.
No, it's not like a comedy. It's like one of those depressing kids shows. Like where like fucking what's his name? Teddy
Ruxpin?
Pooh Bear. He doesn't have a hat, but like how Pooh Bear is kind of like always like low key and depressing, kind of just like, oh, I want some honey. Oh, Christopher Robbins, where's my honey? It's just like, this ain't funny. Who likes this shit?
Eeyore's pretty cool.
Or like the Snowman. You remember the Snowman? How depressing that shit
I
was?
love it.
Like the snow, like they'd always show the advertisement for it, and the snowman's flying, and the kids on the snowman. I'm not talking about the one
Frosty the Snowman.
No, not the one that's
Oh, the one where his father dies and then becomes back as a snowman.
Yeah. Well, that's Jack Frost, ain't it?
Yeah.
No, not that one. The cartoon one.
Frosty the Snowman?
No, that's the one that sings.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Well, apparently you don't. But it's like one where he's like, it's animated and it's all like low key depressing stuff, and it's like, why they'd sell this to kids? I mean, it's like,
I think you just
stuff that induces like Ritalin fits or something. Like they need some
bad Mr. Frosty.
I'll have to look it up.
Remember, that was from the Clay Fighter. But Jonathan Jackson,
he had like a raincoat on and that hat.
Jonathan Jackson says Paddington Bear.
Paddington Bear, I think that's it. Jonathan Jackson, God bless you. I believe that's
Jonathan Jackson.
I gave such a great description of how to figure that one out too. So
I think you're losing your mind, or so. You probably just need sleep.
It's possible.
So, what's your favorite memory of Paddington Bear?
I barely remember it, but I remember reading the stories and stuff. And they depressed me.
What's your fondest memory of Curious George?
I liked his owner always had the yellow suit on.
What's your favorite memory of Elroy Jetson?
Elroy Jetson? Judy Jetson. Come on. What the hell? I don't know.
His dog.
The dog?
What's your favorite episode of She's the Sheriff?
I see. No, I don't even recall anything about She's the Sheriff. Only, but you bringing it up to me.
I'm trying to become Nikhil here. Trying to channel my inner Nikhil.
Oh, I see.
All right. Well, we'll get out of here, folks.
Next time you want to do that, let me send my clone in. So,
what if you had your clone and I just had my way with it?
Well, at least it's not me.
Yeah, but it is in a way.
See, I mean, you just wanted to drag me into one of those
what if
bathrooms
you thought you gave your clone up to me, and then you found out it was really you, and you are the clone?
That's a big error, ain't it?
Boom. Boom. Daddy, do you let your real self?
Oh, good Lord. I gotta go. I don't have time to answer this crap. Maybe that's why they say
a thought-provoking question, because then the clone is a real person.
Goodbye, everybody.
I'm saying
goodbye.
Clones are real people too. All right. Good night,
Happy
everybody.
birthday, Alexa.
Happy birthday, Alexa. You're a good man. Man up.